Nerd Confessions.
Welcome to Nerd Confessions. It's been a week since our last confession. Just a reminder to our listeners, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm William, the host for this episode. I'm joined today by Tommy.
What's up?
Jeff.
Hey.
Sohil.
Hey.
Tyler.
Hey.
And Encore.
Hey.
In this episode... Oh, I forgot Ryan?
Hi.
This is why you didn't remember Ryan last week. He's not listed on there.
Yeah, he's not listed on there.
And Ryan.
Hey.
We should forget you every episode, dude. Every episode we'll forget you.
I think I mainly forget because everyone said hey, and I thought that was Ryan.
Always sitting next to you.
You even cleared your throat.
I put Ryan's name in here, so now we won't forget.
He's so excited.
I fucking laughed. I laughed when I heard it. When he I started laughing.
In this episode, we're going to talk about Life is Strange, Suicide Squad, and Stranger Things. A lot of strange things. All right, first we're going to start it with what everybody did this week. Ryan, what did you do this week?
Ooh, I got my wisdom teeth out. But
All right, well, you're done then.
It made me
Here we
really
go.
sick, so I didn't get to play a lot of games, so I binged a lot of Netflix. I started and finished Master of None, which I think Jeff will like. My elevator pitch is it's Seinfeld with Aziz Ansari.
What? I like it.
Really good.
I liked it a little bit, but it's got a weird element to it, but it's cool.
It actually has like a really relatable storyline that goes through it all, and I really related to it a lot. I think it appeals to the millennial generation.
Have you seen it, Encore?
I have.
Is it good?
It relates to me a lot.
Because
I don't know.
you're both
He's Indian, that's why.
I think it appeals to our generation as a whole. It's really good. And then I finished Scream. I did not predict who the killer was. I highly recommend everyone watch that. I finished Soma, and my bold claim is I think Soma is the best science fiction storyline ever told in a video game.
I noticed you got all the trophies for it.
I got 100% trophies. There's no platinum. Bastards. All you have to do is play through it to get all the trophies. So, that's good. I started Narcos. I'm really into that.
Ooh,
I have
so
like
good.
it's really good.
I have like 2 episodes left in that. It's so fucking good.
really good.
That's the best show on Netflix.
It
by
is,
far.
hands down.
Saw Suicide Squad halfway through Stranger Things, and I watched the Donald Trump movie on Netflix that has Johnny Depp as Donald Trump.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, really?
yeah,
Is it young Donald Trump?
yeah.
It's a comedy.
I gotta see
The
this.
concept of the
I have to
movie
see that.
is Donald Trump wrote and directed his own movie based on The Art of the Deal, and it was so
Oh,
bad that it got lost in like a garage sale. There's only 1 tape left, and Ron Howard found it, and he's showing it to you.
Wait, is Ron Howard? Did he direct it?
I don't know who directed. He might have. It's not very good, but it's only like 40 minutes long. So if you have any
okay.
interest, give it a go.
Johnny Depp is really in it.
Yeah.
That's so
Very
strange.
interesting.
If I didn't know Johnny Depp was playing Donald Trump, I probably wouldn't have known until the credits.
Or was it a
Oh, really?
lookalike, like
Wow.
in the Tim and Eric movie when it was John Depp? There was a guy that looked like Johnny Depp.
More makeup than Black Mass, huh?
Yeah. It was
I remember he said he wanted to play something with Donald Trump once, but I didn't think he was serious.
Yeah, he did it. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of people in it. But
That's funny.
It's pretty shallow.
How long is it? Like an hour or something?
Like 45 minutes.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah. It's worth a go. And that about sums up my week.
You didn't play We Happy Few?
Well, I played it last week, and I want to talk to you about it, Will, since I saw that you played it. How did you feel about it, Will?
I didn't think it wasn't what I expected. It's just survive as long as you can.
He wasn't
Kind
one of
of
the happy
gameplay?
few.
Nah, I mean, I knew what it was before I played it because I heard people complaining about it. And after you get through that narrative intro, that was cool, but it was exactly the same as the E3 demo. So it was nothing new.
Yeah.
And then after like 20 minutes of wandering around the town, I started to actually get into the mechanics and caring about surviving and all
What
that.
was your gripe about the controls?
It felt really floaty. Like, it wasn't responsive. Like, I would move to look, and it would take like a millisecond to respond, and it felt like it wasn't one-to-one to my actual analog movement. It was weird. Did it not feel weird to you?
I think it's mainly just a sensitivity thing.
I set it all the way up, and it still felt weird.
Oh. I felt a similar feeling when I played BioShock on PS3 until I messed around with the joysticks enough.
It's weird because none of my other Xbox games felt like that, so it wasn't my TV or my controller, so I don't know.
And I think it doesn't run at a steady 30 frames. That might be part of why.
that felt really shitty.
Even though you didn't experience that on Unity for some reason.
It was really ugly.
So
it was a really ugly game.
So Ryan, it says you saw a lot of commercials.
I didn't see any commercials. I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix and on the commercials.
Ryan, did you finish Orange is the New Black?
I did finish Orange is the New Black.
How do you feel about it? You like the ending? I like the ending a lot.
The ending was interesting, even though the catalyst for that felt like I don't see how that even happened. Like it was so short.
Yeah.
It was kind of dumb. And then I'm tired of that show making references to modern day events when it's supposedly still
I know.
out
It's
years
a little
ago.
confusing, yeah.
Yeah, they're mentioning Black Lives Matter and like that movement wasn't happening when you got in prison 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Tommy,
Yeah.
what strange things did you do this week?
Damn, that was loud. I saw Suicide Squad, and I started playing World of Warcraft again before the new game comes out, or expansion. Started watching a new anime on Netflix, which is apparently a Netflix original, Magi's Adventures of Sinbad. It's actually pretty good. It doesn't have a dub, it's subbed, but if you don't mind reading, it's actually pretty good. Hardcore Henry, I finished that. That was really good. I was surprised. I didn't think I would like it, but no, right off the bat, I was like, man, it's interesting. It's like watching a first-person shooter or some kind of GTA, but like with real people. And then I'm still watching Mr. Robot and Ray Donovan. So that's all I did for this week.
Yeah.
Jeff, what'd you do this week?
I didn't really do a whole lot this week. I played a lot of Overwatch. I don't know why. I played a lot.
What do you think about
Played a soccer mode?
The
Lucio's soccer ball or something? What is that?
it's like Lucy Ball or something like that. It's so stupid. You can only punch. You can't even do anything else.
Yeah, you played it a lot.
Isn't it
I
supposed to
played
be
it
like
once.
kind of like Rocket League?
Yeah, but it's just not good. Rocket League's fun, but I played a lot of Overwatch. I gained like 11 levels.
Wow.
Yeah, I played a lot.
What level are you? I'm only like level
You're right.
13.
I think I'm level 73.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Damn, you need a drink or something?
Have you played Anna? What's your thoughts on Anna?
Yeah,
we never discussed Anna.
She's cool. I like her a lot. She's a healer / sniper, and you can snipe your teammates, which will heal them, and you can also snipe enemies, which does damage to them as well as prevents them from healing, like pickups or other teammates healing them.
Oh, really? Wow.
So yeah, she's pretty cool.
Did you see that exploit that people had? If there's 3 Annas, you can constantly put somebody to sleep, and then eventually they get kicked out because they can't do anything in the controls.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
You just-
I didn't see that.
Team up on them for 15 seconds and they get booted for not doing anything.
Oh, that's messed up. That's one of the most annoying things to do is get to put to sleep my Anna, and then she walks over to you and stands there, and you can see her aiming at your head and then kills you. It's so frustrating. But she's a cool character, and she got a cool backstory. She's Farrah's mom,
Yeah.
kind of
Sweet.
tie everything in together.
Is
I
she
like
as
that.
cute as Farrah is?
She's her mom, man. She's old and like
Milfy?
haggard.
Farrah's my lane lady.
All the different skins. Some of the different skins. She's a little less butchy.
She didn't seem that butchy, but I didn't really pay attention. She has like a hood on and it's kind of hiding a lot of her features.
One of them, she looks like a Tusken Raider. I think it's
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember what skin it was called, but it was really cool. I did like how they had a bunch of Rio-inspired skins for some of the characters. Actually, only 3, I think. Zarya, Lucio, and Tracer.
Yeah.
Didn't Diva have one, or is she not actually in it?
I didn't see one for Diva, but I wish they would all have them. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
I saw Tracer's hands. They're huge.
her hands?
Yeah, like in the like launch screen.
Oh, yeah.
Her hands like right next to her face. It's bigger than her head. So everyone was commenting on that.
I've been using I can't remember Symmetra. Is that, am I saying that right?
I think you're saying it right. Yeah.
The healer, the
Yeah,
one
well,
with the lasers. Not healer, but
Yeah,
whatever
like
she does.
The one with the little turrets.
teleporter turret girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been using her like this entire week and getting really good with her. She's really
hard.
good.
Well, she's hard to use, but once her little thing is good at close range, right?
Yeah, her thing tracks people, kind of like the
Did they
Tesla cannon.
Did they patch the thing with the sniper and being able to see all the things or something? Because that's her main weakness is if they have, I forget what the name is, a sniper on the other team.
Widowmaker.
Yeah,
Widowmaker.
and she uses a special that can see where all your turrets are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you can get to a spot and establish the stronghold immediately, and because you can put 6 turrets up, and 6 turrets, all you got to do is just maybe hold down her weapon for 2 or 3 seconds, and the guy's dead instantly. Even like 3 or 4 guys, it's really easy to get a lot of kills and to hold down plot points and stuff with her. She's not really good on the escorting the payload, but she's a really cool character. I like her.
Ooh,
Cool.
Every week I try somebody different.
I want to try her if I can.
Like Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I did Stranger Things, Life is Strange. Suicide Squad and Transmission.
Attaboy.
And transmission.
What's
So Hill,
transmission?
what did you do this week?
Shout out Tyler.
What? I don't know.
Transmission is a game.
I don't know. I've
No,
never heard of
he's
it.
saying he's done talking.
Transmission is a part of a car.
Oh, okay, so
God.
I played Fallout 4 again. I started playing it again.
You started over?
No, I just started playing again. I left it off. I didn't even finish the game, so I went back to continue playing. Last time I left off, I was getting all those Eddie Winter holotapes or whatever.
Oh, those
it
are
was.
good.
So I
I think
grabbed.
there's 8 of them. 7 of
I
them?
think there was 10.
Oh,
So I grabbed all 10. That was like the last mission I did right before I got here. Actually, I went and met Eddie Winter at his little hideout, and then you were able to do something, whatever you want to do with him. So
What? Why is it so secret?
it's not. You just go to his hideout and he's like in his underwear or something, and
he wasn't in his underwear for me. He was like in a nice
was in
clean
board-
suit.
he was in board shorts and like a or like boxer shorts
What the
and like a t-shirt, like a white shirt, and then I just killed him.
Yeah, mine wasn't. Mine was like a very. It said clean, fresh clothing. That's what I said when I took it off. Because I ripped it off of him.
What?
I would take their
This is
clothes
getting
too.
kinky.
I always whenever it says like fresh clothing, I'll take it because I always put all the
Fallout
best
4,
clothes
Triple
on.
X edition.
Like a certain one of my settlements has everyone with like regular clothes, like clean clothes.
How many of those tapes did you get? Excuse me. Until you looked online to figure out the rest of them, or did you not look online?
I didn't look at all online. I thought the computer showed you where they were. I went to the terminals in the store at each of the police stations, and it would show you where the next one was.
Yeah, but it's like a general area. It takes so long. I got
If
like
you-
6 of them, and I was like, "After this, I'm looking."
I'm
online.
not sure if it was through the patch or something, but whenever I did it, it would show you exactly where the tape was.
Really?
I don't remember this quest at all.
Yeah, when I did it, I
So-
got like the 6 of them. I got like 3 or 4 of them just by accident, and then it said, "Hey, go to like Boston PD area."
Oh yeah,
And I just searched the hell out of it.
They say that, but if you go to the terminal inside and you read the transaction where it says Eddie Winter, it'll say whose desk it's in.
Yeah, but you still don't know exactly. Because
Yeah,
I think at Boston PD it was on top of like a filing cabinet on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, but
Some random spot.
it'll show you as a little marker. It did for me. I don't know. Maybe it was a patch. I don't know. I just did it and then I got there. But yeah, so I played that. I watched Suicide Squad. I watched Stranger Things. Finished Stranger Things. Continue Parks and Rec. Still playing Pokemon Go.
How
even
come
though
you
I
haven't
hate
finished
this.
Park and Recs?
I finished it already. I'm watching with Ellie. We're finishing it together
Jeff finished it before you did,
Aw.
and he started before you did.
because I don't get to watch as many episodes.
And this season came. You hate Pokemon Go?
I'm not enjoying this new patch at all. I don't really like it because of every time the
I
catches.
feel like I'm wasting too many Pokeballs.
Yeah, I think they did it on purpose, but
They said it was a glitch.
I think it's a lie.
What's a glitch?
They said that the Pokemon being harder to catch is a glitch.
The whole game
Is it?
a glitch.
It's all in
I
your,
have a
it's all in
feeling
your
that's
mind.
bullshit.
That's what they said.
I think it's crazy because you're spending a lot of Pokeballs every single time.
I
when
don't
you're throwing
understand because Renee said the same thing where it's like impossible for her to catch Pokemon or lower level Pokemon. But
I
for
know
me,
they
I've
say
had
fuck
no
you and
problems
take
at
off.
all.
I haven't had any problems at all either.
like
Generally,
1-2 Pokeballs tops. I don't
generally, I
even
don't think it's
Ultra
harder.
Balls.
But I think there's a higher chance that they'll say "fuck you" and take off after. a
Hey,
little
watch
ball.
this.
What I
Just
was
gonna take the app and then delete it.
good
Oh
for you.
my
Fucking
god!
copycat,
So
bro.
so what they said is I was reading online. People were saying that it's harder to catch lower end. Like if you're looking at Rattatats and Pidgeys and stuff like that, you could throw a Pokeball on them. If you don't catch it, sometimes you lose a Pokeball on a level 50 Rattata, which is ridiculous, CP 50. And then they said that, oh yeah, it's some issue. And I was hearing people saying, oh yeah, this is a big problem. I lost like 50 Pokeballs trying to catch like a Magikarp. This is ridiculous. I don't know.
This is probably some dumb-dumb's idea to the concern that people had. It was all I find is like Rattatats and Pidgeys and shit. They're like, let's make it harder to catch then.
No, I think
Don't fix anything.
I don't think that's
Exactly.
I don't think
It's
that's what it
stupid-
was for.
Stupid solution.
I think it was mainly because there's like a group of people playing the game on their PC and then finding ways to do things, and they're trying to make things harder
What
for
the
everyone.
fuck? How would you play this on your PC?
I saw people playing it on
Emulator.
PC.
Emulators.
Uh,
I don't understand why they shut down all those sites where it helps you track Pokemon.
They did it on purpose because they got a little angry with all those people.
It pinged their servers too much.
It's so annoying though because like Pokevision was a site that I used and it showed you where Pokemon are and for how long they would be there, and it was just to actually go there and catch Pokemon. And the app doesn't even work properly.
Yeah, the game they said they're going to look into a new radar and stuff like that in the future, and they were looking into that. But
It worked when it first came out.
No, they're talking about a new radar, like
What
a
happened?
circular one. I don't know. They messed up. Moving on. I don't want to keep talking about it, but Faster Than Light.
Okay, sorry.
So I don't want to. I played Faster Than Light on my iPad and my
FTL?
computer. Yeah, FTL.
Like good, I have it on Steam.
Oh,
I
it's
never
so
played
good. It's so good. It's so like
Miss it.
easy to get lost playing that game because it's just like a really it just takes a lot of time. I know it's an old game, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was like one of the first Kickstarter type games.
It was kickstarted.
Yeah, it was Kickstarted or something like that, like crowdfunded, and it was like the mass success. And then I played Shitshimi, and Life is Strange. Just a little bit of it, like maybe 20 minutes.
That's
But
it.
yeah, that's it.
Okay. Tyler, what'd you do this week?
I
Here we go.
played a little bit of Pokemon Go. Played the first, I think I'm almost done with the first chapter of Life is Strange. And then Stranger Things, I finished that today.
Yes.
Watched.
Dustin.
I watched Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
Can't beat Young Frankenstein.
Exactly.
More
and then,
dust.
I'm 2 issues into the new James Bond Varger comic.
Which James Bond is that based off of?
It's not really based off of anyone really. More, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a lot more violent. There's a lot of blood and it's a lot gorier. Gore-ier.
Go.
Do you think?
And then I started reading the new Harry Potter book, The Cursed Child, which is based off of the play.
Is it any good?
I have that book.
It's
I've been
good. I
reading
mean,
it
it's
too.
not bad. It's just
I heard it has a lot of
it's
plot
writ-
holes.
It's written like a play. Like
Yeah.
it'll have the name and then it'll say what they say.
was like
I
a
think the
script?
first
It's just like reading a script.
The
Oh,
first
nice.
Yeah.
10 pages of that book is straight up says Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Next page, Harry Potter,
yeah.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Because
Third
it
page.
is the script.
I know, but like it was like 8
Yeah,
pages
and then
in.
there's certain parts where it sets up the stage and
Yeah.
blocks the stage for you and everything.
And Harry
Interesting.
Potter is
Yeah.
old now, so
Yeah.
just so you know.
So how long?
Yeah, but it's a new book.
how long until they make a movie out of this?
It'll probably a couple of years. Yeah.
I think the
'Cause
play the play is
hasn't
still out. The play is out, but there's 2 parts to the play, which you have to come one night. They have a second night.
What?
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's a 2-night play.
That's really weird.
It's in London, and
Is it- you have to buy 2 tickets.
and it's sold
Oh my
out for
God.
like
2000.
That's how you make money, bro.
November.
Wait, do you buy one
two.
ticket for 2 nights, or do you have to buy 2 tickets?
no, it's one ticket,
Oh, okay.
but I think the price includes the second night.
Okay.
So
So it's one.
I
ticket.
didn't think it was that long because I have it on PDF and it only said it was like 275 pages or something like that.
oh yeah, the
And that
book,
doesn't seem like a lot considering the books were like over 500, 600
Well,
pages.
isn't the rule for the screenplay 1 page is 1 minute? So
Yes.
that's the
Is it?
same
Okay, I don't know.
for a stage play. That's 275 minutes.
Oh,
It
okay.
should be.
Long.
It should be the same.
2 nights though.
yeah, they did 2 nights because they said that it didn't really flow well when it was one night. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
what
They
they're
probably had to
testing.
cut out a bunch of stuff.
The question is the story like captivating as, let's say, Harry Potter?
I mean,
was?
I think it is because I like Harry Potter so much, and it has the 3 original characters, and it has some of the professors and everything, but it's mainly about one of Harry's sons.
Yeah.
That's pretty much who it follows.
How many
It's the
sons
future.
does
He
he
has
have?
sons.
He
Yeah.
has 2 sons and a daughter.
With who?
Two sons and a daughter.
With Ginny
Ginny
Weasley.
Weasley.
Always has to be from a child's
Wow.
perspective, huh?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Well,
but-
kind of. But the way it starts out, like I think I'm on maybe the 50th page. Or
Do you
something
think
like
this
that.
is a setup or like a try to see if
You
people
saw
like
it in
it?
the last movie.
No. Do you think it's like her way of like testing out the waters to see if,
Well, she didn't
if
write
they
it.
want to continue to
She didn't write
She
it
didn't
alone.
write it. Yeah.
She didn't write it?
There were 2 other people who wrote it.
She
with
didn't
her.
write it alone.
Yeah.
She had 2 other people help
Yeah.
her.
She might get back on. If this picks
She
up,
will.
she might.
She's always said that she's going to write more Harry Potter books.
How many
she
books are
has.
there?
She just said there's 7,
Seven.
and then this is the
7
8th.
plus this.
Damn, Gina.
Yeah.
She's like one of the best
Dude, she's a billionaire.
selling authors
Oh, yeah.
out there. Yeah.
I saw her house in
Yeah.
London.
Was it nice?
Fucking 3
Creep
stories,
ass.
dude.
Was it nice? Did you go in?
No one will let you in. It's just
How
like,
come?
oh, that's J.K. Rowling's house right there. I was
Hey,
like,
can we
oh,
come in?
Hello.
Fucking multi-billion-dollar pound. House.
Hey, Will. Do you think Young Frankenstein's better than Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
Okay.
I like. Well, to be honest, I never actually watched Blazing Saddles the whole way through. Guess
Some
that's
good
something I have to fix.
Now you have to watch it.
You think
How's-
it's better
how's
than Blazing
your-
Saddles?
I prefer Young Frankenstein. Yeah.
How's
I
your-
love them both, but
How's
no
your
works
Golden
with
Girls marathon going?
I didn't
Tyler?
watch Golden Girls. Somebody put that in.
It says you watched Three's Company too.
No, I haven't watched Golden Girls in probably 10
Go
years.
and
Hey,
knock
Three's
on our
Company is good.
door.
I've never seen Young Frankenstein. Should I watch it?
You have
Yeah,
to
it's
watch it. I have it
very
on
good.
Blu-ray, Ryan.
You actually have it?
I have it on Blu-ray, and I have Blazing Saddles on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
And
Well,
your
History of the World.
And your neighbors. Nice.
I have it on Blu-ray on my computer.
That's the best one.
History of the World?
Yeah.
It's great, but it's not the best. No.
It's all about Airplane.
Airplane's not the same, though. It's not the same director, the writer.
It's the same
Mel
type of
Brooks?
comedy.
It's similar.
Encore.
Yes.
What'd you do this week?
I did a lot this week, guys. I deleted fucking Pokemon Go.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's your
Nice.
biggest accomplishment.
That's my biggest.
now you'll
accomplishment.
never keep up with us.
I'm done, dude. That game.
I'm over
I just
it too.
deleted
Dum dum da day.
I love the original. It was cool. It was nostalgic. Killed my fucking battery.
Cool. Good talk,
I
man.
mean, I don't have a problem keeping it on my phone. I don't have to delete it. I can just, pace myself and play it when other people around me are playing it.
I just pull it out every once in a
Why
while.
did you see
Too many
like
glitches.
they were talking about this like joke that's happening online where like winter's coming? People said instead of using heater packs, they'll just put their Pokemon Go on and put it in their hand.
I watched episode 4 of The Night Of. Has anybody watched that yet?
Nope.
No.
Get on it.
Did you watch Room yet?
No.
When you watch Room, I'll watch Night of.
Okay.
What does that sound?
Sounds like you'll never do it. It's so disappointing.
Best movie of 2015.
I watched Mr. Robot, then I saw Suicide Squad like everybody else, and I watched this documentary on Netflix called Sugar Coated.
What's that?
It's about the sugar company and how they're like trying to deceive people by putting 100% juice and all that kind of stuff,
Ooh.
and how diabetes and cardiac and all this health issues.
I was really
It's-
fooled by that when this is 100% juice. Who actually thinks that they actually somebody sits there and squeezes juice into these fucking
Exactly.
bottles of juices?
This
As long there's
Some dude,
don't they say
100% real juice.
concentrate, pasteurized, zero nutritional
What
value,
companies with 100% juice that are talking about?
Welch's
Simply does it,
Juicy Juice.
which is actually a Coca-Cola company.
Yep.
But they
that's my
talk-
favorite
Welch's do it.
It is good juice.
Yep.
Well,
Dexter
it's
drinks
better.
that
It's
juice.
better than the ones with high fructose corn syrup, isn't it?
It's all the same thing. There's a
Yeah.
shit ton of sugar in all of them. They're all equally
They
bad
d-
for you.
Are you
It
telling
doesn't-
me my lemonade's not healthy?
It doesn't beat grape drink.
They talk about. It tells you all the the little code names for all the sugars that are syrup, honey, all these big glucose and all that. It's all sugar, and it was interesting, and then it makes me not want, because they've been doing it since the 50s. All this sugar, the sugar company, and it's a big corporate company that's done it.
I don't want to feel
Check it
bad
out
about
if
my
you want.
juice.
Still, it's good. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop drinking Simply. That's my personal favorite orange juice.
Simply's the
It's
best.
so good.
Because
It's
it's Dexter
just
juice.
simply the
Oh, with the
best.
pulp?
But I know what it
Extra
is. Like,
No
I'm
pulp.
not-
No pulp.
I know
No,
exactly
extra
what I'm
pulp?
drinking.
No, the
It's
pulp's
all-
gross. Pulp gets stuck in your teeth.
I don't.
I hate
I
pulp
would
too.
never do
Not a
extra
fan of
pulp,
pulp.
but like
It's good.
medium pulp is my
Extra
favorite.
pulp.
The one,
Medium
the one,
pulp.
the one I don't like is the one that says like vitamin D in it. That makes it taste like milk.
Vitamin D.
When's the last
What?
time you guys had a Sunny D?
Oh, it's been years.
I haven't had
shit-
Sunny D.
Sunny
I've
D
I've
gets
never
better.
some in the fridge right now.
I've never
not
had
good
orange
for you.
juice that tastes like
Well, it's
milk.
not really orange juice.
I know, but
Neither is
Sunny D orange.
pizza and hot
No,
dogs,
but
dude.
like
But they're
Sunny-
delicious.
But Sunny D is marketed when you're little. It's like, oh, it's good for you.
So-
vitamin C and all this
Sunny
shit.
Sunny
D is
D,
the
man.
worst.
But here's the thing:
Vitamin D.
you watch these videos from these guys, and then are they always telling the truth? Not always. It depends where your sources come from. So some people say things for their own little purposes.
What videos?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're
We're
talking
talking
about.
about whatever video you wa-
Documentaries.
whatever documentary you just watched about sugar being in your food.
Oh, like Blackfish, dude.
Yeah, Blackfish is full of shit.
Bullshit.
Did you guys ever see that McDonald's one? That guy ate like McDonald's. every day?
Supersize me?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
supersize
That
me.
shit traumatized
You
me.
know what
son.
pissed me off, dude? I
can
never got fucking supersized fries, and I wish I had known about it back then, because now I'm pissed off that I can only get little large size.
You know what?
Did you hear about
the large they have now is pretty much the same size as
Dude, I
supersize.
know.
I thought it was like a
Freaking
big, like
huge.
1 foot cup or something.
Burger King has the worst large fries.
Burger
I'm
King
just
has the
gonna throw it
worst
out.
fast food fries. For
Not
sure.
get. I wouldn't say that.
The
but-
worst fast food fries? Come on.
You don't even like fries. Get out of here.
Jack in the
just-
Box fries are terrible.
You're not
Yeah,
even
they're really dry.
I dislike In-N-Out fries.
I dislike
Ditto.
it. Fries
Me too.
It tastes like
Worst.
cardboard.
Disgusting.
Going back to
fries
McDonald's,
are great.
did you hear
You
some of
guys
the
like the
McDonald's?
fake stuff then?
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
they're the only
It's
ones
all
that
about
do real
McDonald's.
potatoes.
And
I
now
was gonna
fries
say-
taste like nothing.
Okay.
Those Chick-fil-A fries are terrible too.
That's it.
They don't
All right,
taste like
guys.
nothing.
So what I did this week was Life Isn't Strange,
You'll never know. You'll never know what I
Suicide
was gonna
Squad, We Happy Few, and I got the platinum for Saints Row Got to Hell.
Someone said well done fries is their favorite in In-N-Out. Which are over.
That's fucking
I agree.
stupid.
I agree. When you ask for well done fries in and out, they are a lot better.
They
No,
are
they're
good.
not.
Better,
But it's still shit.
better than
Still not
McDonald's.
good.
All right,
No.
moving on to the news. We have two news stories that contradict each other here.
Yes.
First one's positive about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad soars past Guardians of the Galaxy's 94.3 million figure after breaking August's Thursday preview night record. In addition, Suicide Squad now serves as the biggest film of Will Smith's career.
What?
What?
No.
That's what it says. Eclipsing the 77.2 million debut of I Am Legend 9 years ago.
Wow.
While the film isn't likely
Is this
coming to
accounting for
China
inflation?
anytime soon, Suicide Squad pulled in 132 million internationally, which puts its worldwide total over 267 million. The film performed well above Warner Brothers' expectations, according to the distribution executive VP Jeff Goldstein. who noted there's a major disconnect with between what the critics are saying and what the audience are seeing.
Not really. I mean, people just wanted to see it, just to see, like, is it as bad as critics say? I wouldn't say that the numbers prove anything.
Question here.
Critics are saying it's bad, or the audience?
The critics are saying it's
Critics are
bad, and then the audience are viewing it, so you're obviously getting sales.
There's some people in the audience that think it's amazing, some people that hate it.
It's
Is
rated
this-
pretty high
is-
on IMDb.
I mean, if everyone like rated it after they came out of the movies, then you could really see if the movie failed.
Is
or
this
not.
I Am Legend figure adjusted for inflation?
Probably not.
This is
Probably not.
Yeah, so
No.
I'm saying it's way bigger if it's adjusted.
But on the other side of the spectrum, the second news story, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Suicide Squad has got to do $750 million and to break even. If they get anywhere close to that, they'll consider it a win. The David Ayer directed film reportedly cost $175 million to produce, including roughly $10 million on reshoots and over $100 million more to market.
Reshoots.
So it cost them what, like 300 million, but they want 800 million.
Yeah.
well, it's
or
probably
it's
because
failure?
it's probably because they
Jesus
have
Christ.
to.
half of that's Will Smith's salary.
I'm pretty sure that the theaters make like a certain cut. So every time for the first week, I think the movie production company gets 90% of the ticket sale, and then the next week it goes like something like 70, and then it drops as the longer the movie sits in theater.
I heard it was like
Is that legit? 90%?
Yeah, movie
Yeah.
theaters make like nothing the first week.
The first week they didn't get
That's
no
so
money.
shitty.
That's why the concessions are so expensive.
Yeah,
That's why movie theaters make like no money off of me.
I heard at one point that
Damn.
they didn't get any money from the movie. It's like maybe $2.
it depends on like the distributor. So if you're like ending at like let's say Disney or something, they may say like we're gonna keep 99% of it. You get 1% of ticket sales, but the next week we'll get 75%, and then you get 25%.
So you better get that popcorn
So then
popping.
you better get that popcorn going. And this and that.
You know what's gonna happen, right?
was
Eventually,
a good
studios are just gonna put it on demand, so they cut out the freaking theater middleman.
Well, a lot of when they first started doing that, like AMC boycotted Disney for that when Alice in Wonderland came out.
Yeah, I remember that. You remember those tickets they used to sell at Costco?
yeah,
They're
yeah.
no longer like allowed for Disney movies.
I don't think that'll ever
Wait,
happen.
seriously?
Yeah, Disney or any Marvel movies. They said that you can't use those special tickets.
I don't think they'll ever not have movie theaters. They'll have the big budget films going to movie theaters,
Well,
the
if
small
Disney-
budget
it's
films
going
going to
that way, though.
Netflix.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless Disney buys out
I don't
Netflix,
know.
then you'll see.
I don't think it'll go that
automatic
far.
The experiment of when we had that one movie that came out, that North Korean movie. What was that called again?
Oh,
Crouching
with
Tiger?
Interview.
with Seth Rogen.
Seth
in there?
Rogen. Yeah, the
forgot
interview.
the
The
name.
interview.
Oh, the interview.
That experiment when it went straight to distribute, like straight to Netflix or whatever like that, it ended up making no money.
Yeah, and that movie had a ton of hype behind it too.
Yeah, and that movie had like no money, and it ended up that.
Well, because it went on Netflix. I mean, people who were subscribed, they're like, all right.
it doesn't
see
matter.
for
Even if
free.
you put it for Netflix for one day, you're gonna end up with a pirate that's gonna rip it and then send it out, or you're gonna have viewing parties like 8 people or more in your house.
It
Kind of
didn't-
like Mike Tyson.
It didn't go to Netflix till like 2 months later either. It was
Yeah.
originally you had to like pay on demand to see it. We bought it. We wanted to watch it, so we bought it and watched
Speaking
it.
of
But
movies,
yeah,
speaking of movies with too much hype, Michael Jordan wants Blake Griffin to star in Space Jam 2.
Who cares what Michael Jordan wants?
You know why he wants to be in Space Jam 2?
why Blake Griffin?
Why?
Because he has a Jordan brand of shoes that was based off of The Martian. The
Marvin the
yeah,
Martian.
that could work for.
His Jordans?
Yeah, his
based on
Jordans are based
marketing.
on Marvin the Martian.
Reports claim Olympic kayaker capsized after hitting underwater sofa.
Doesn't make no sense.
That's hilarious.
So apparently, according to claims, there was a Czech. I think it was like a Eastern European team, Serbian team, I think, that was doing kayaking in a row, and all of a sudden, nowhere they capsized. They hit something, and they claimed that they went underwater, and they found it was a sofa that was underwater.
How can a sofa capsize a kayak?
It hit it
Kayak-
from. They just hit it, and it flipped
It was
over.
underwater.
It was
I see what
underwater.
you mean. Okay, I thought you meant like it
Welcome to
cracked
Rio.
it and it.
No.
I watched-
That's sinking. Capsize is flipping.
I watched
yeah,
the
but I
opening
thought it was like
ceremony,
a-
and that water looked real clean.
That's what
It's
they want
movie,
you to think.
movie
Clever
magic. Movie magic.
They also said that they also claimed there was like dead bodies in the water and stuff like that, but no one's seen that yet. But that sofa thing, they claimed it was on NBC.
I think there's a lot of exaggeration too. Depending
Amazon,
on who reports it.
Yeah, it's still funny.
I don't know.
it's funny, yeah.
What was that one picture where the guy's like standing on a kayak or
That was one I sent you guys. There was a
Paddleboard?
guy standing on a
Paddleboard,
paddleboard, and there was like trash
It's
everywhere.
pitch black water. It's
It's not
nasty.
black; it's green. But all right,
I have a question, Ryan.
Jeff?
Did that theater by your house, Cinema City, did they get banned from playing Sony movies
Yeah,
one
they
time?
can't. They can't show Sony movies because they showed the very first Sam Raimi Spider-Man like a day early. So Sony banned them from showing their
like
movies.
forever?
Well, they had Ghostbusters, so they might be back. But for years, you couldn't see a Sony movie
That's
there.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well, what good Sony movies are there besides Spider-Man?
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
god.
Ghostbusters.
Next question.
Mic drop.
Amazon Air is about to launch new fleet of aircraft to help increase package delivery.
So that's happening.
It'll be a fleet of 40 planes.
Real planes, 737s.
Who's excited for a quicker delivery of your next AAA
Oh,
game?
I get it. I'm thinking the
I go to
drones.
Best Buy.
No,
I
no,
already
they're
get it like same day or next day anyway.
You can get it 2 hours
Jeez.
from now.
Yeah.
No, but they just hired. They just. I saw a video of them painting their first plane, and it said Amazon Air on. It says, and then on the bottom it says Amazon One, or no, the plane's called Prime One. So it's like they're
Yeah,
gonna.
so if you get something from like Chicago or something,
That what they're looking to do is they're trying to cut out the middleman, which will save you guys shipping. So
It's not going to save us anything.
I mean, save them shipping. Which then maybe we'll
But it's
get
not
to
like they
keep
can
our
ship
Prime.
everything with these planes.
No, but it's like things that like you know like you have distributor centers like Chicago's one, New York's
Every
one.
every
LA.
time they cut out the middleman, things mess up.
Yeah, so they want to cut out FedEx, I think, and
And
UPS.
Yeah.
A new report claims the Nintendo NX will receive new Mario and Pokemon games alongside Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild within 6 months of the console's March 2017 release.
Yes.
There's a lot of good games that are rumored for that thing I'm excited for.
Sources close to Nintendo have reported that the company is hoping to avoid a slow start of its that the previous two consoles, Wii U and 3DS, had.
Slow start, even though they haven't. What aren't they like behind on announcing it?
Not behind anything.
Yeah, when they
announce it
supposed
when
to-
you want to.
No, but weren't they supposed to do it this year?
No,
But then
it's
they
still
push it
they're
to-
There
still
was
going to this year.
there was rumors, but obviously not true.
They're gonna have a lot of good stuff at launch. They're supposed to have a Final Fantasy VI remake, Tyler.
The Final Fantasy, which one?
Supposed to, or is that a rumor?
That's
That
a
should
big
be really
rumor.
cool.
There's also rumored to be a Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's supposed to be exclusive.
Are they
for
gonna
it.
make a Ghostbusters?
Really exclusive?
Yeah.
Isn't it just isn't it going to be free on Xbox Live this?
The original Beyond Good and Evil is free on Xbox 360 this month, so we get to play it on there. I remember playing that back on GameCube back in the day, and it's pretty good.
I'm excited to try it out.
I don't think it's as great as people like to remember it as, but it was a cool game.
One of your favorite developers, Mike Bethel.
Mm-hmm.
He said that it's one of the most perfect games he's ever played.
Perfect.
Wow.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah,
I'll play the HD. I haven't played it in like a decade, so I'm curious to play it again. I'm in
Yeah.
a drought. I'll play it.
Disney announces that Infinity War Part 2 will now be an unentitled Avengers film that raises questions to if the original cast will be present for this film. So you might be right, Ryan. They might kill the original cast.
Yes.
That's
They're too
stupid.
expensive.
That's absolutely stupid.
No.
Why is that stupid? You gotta get rid of them eventually.
You can't like
Hello?
build it up
Hello?
all the way to this, and
Hello?
then at the very last one, be like, yeah, fuck these guys.
What are you talking about? Of course you can have people die in the last installment of
Can
the
you hear me
chapter.
No,
Kill them all.
And then recast them as
They're
different.
not gonna recast them. They have all these other characters that can
Nah,
replace
They're
them.
gonna recast.
You know how many different
Hello?
characters there are?
Faces.
What are you saying, Encore?
Yeah, go ahead and set Aquaman.
God damn.
It sounds like he's saying carrot. I don't know.
Dude, Blake Griffin is so ugly. Like, how could you?
I
don't know why I
I
thought
thought,
that.
I thought the same thing.
Like, how could you?
He pulls bitches.
Who wants to?
Because he's
Because he's
got
a
money.
basketball star. Who wants to watch an hour and a half, 2 hour movie with ugly ass Blake
He's
Griffin?
hilarious.
But he's got a good personality.
Have you seen his Kia commercials?
He's not a good person. He punched the dude in the locker room.
That's why.
Uh,
He's a good action star.
Did you see that,
He'd be good at fighting the aliens.
fan-made Space Jam 3 that somebody made with like a pretend Jeremy Lin? It was like all Asian people playing as anime characters.
Space Jam.
James
3?
Harden.
What happens in the
James
second one?
Harden would
Skip
make a
2.
better.
Shit, it was
Would make a better
hilarious.
Space
James
Jam.
Harden is ugly as
Yeah,
F when
dude,
his
that
beard is
beard.
off.
Blake Griffin is ugly. He's,
That's true.
Bro,
looks like a
watch-
monster.
Did you see that
watch his-
Snaggletooth?
Yeah, watch his Kia commercials. They're hilarious.
I love him. They are
Yeah.
hilarious, but he's still ugly.
Space Jam 2.
He's an
got
ugly
Shaq.
man.
Michael
Michael
Jordan's
Jordan's
done
beautiful.
stand up.
I want to see
You
Shaq.
saw
Oh
that recently?
God.
How
Couple
long was
days
that
ago?
stewing, Jeff? You just burst it out for no reason.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know. Continue.
Hello. Oh yeah. So what I was saying, the Infinity Wars, they're gonna be filming it. It's gonna be filmed together, but they're releasing it as two parts.
But I thought they changed
They
this
changed it. It's no longer going to be part 1, part 2.
It's not
gonna
called
be an
part one,
entitled
part two.
eventual-
Yeah, but they're filming it together.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how you save money, bro.
First quarter. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Like they need to save
Pirates
money.
of the Caribbean 2 and 3 was
Pinching
filmed at the
pennies?
same time.
The
Hey,
Hobbit.
those investors want pinch them pennies.
Matrix Revolutions and Reloaded same time. Mocking J12, Harry Potter 1 or 7-8 or whatever the hell
Oh my
it was.
god. Next topic.
First quarter of Sony's
Fuck.
2016 fiscal year saw marked declines in sales and or operating incomes almost everywhere across the entire company except PlayStation division. The company's operating income of 56.2 billion yen, or 546 million, was 42% lower than in the same quarter in 2015. Do you guys see this eventually affecting PlayStation division?
The thing
Restrictions
is
up
they're
the ass,
putting
bro.
PlayStation front and center for their business because that's the only thing making them money right now.
Well, PlayStation VR is a pretty big risk
It's
for a
gonna,
company that's
I
having
don't
such a
think
hard time.
they're not going to lose money. I mean, the demand's already there for them not to lose money on it, I think. Whether or not it's going to pay off in the long term, I don't know, but I don't think they're going to bite the dust on it. So the demand's already there, it's clear. So as long as software is there to satiate it, we'll see.
Hope so. Don't want to lose our PlayStation.
Do you think they'll kill their TV division?
No, their TVs are still selling. They just need to make them cheaper. I have a Sony TV.
I think they're selling. They're just not that profitable.
Yeah. Sony's not a dominant force in electronics like they used to be.
It's all about that Vio.
Get out Vizio?
Vizio.
Get out
That's
of
what I
here.
meant to say.
They sold the Vio laptop brand. They
Who
unloaded that.
do they sell it
I don't
to?
know who
Who's
they sold
making
it
them
to.
now?
I don't know, but they sold it.
I thought they just stopped that whole division with that with the computers and stuff.
Wow, they sold it.
I don't know why this is relevant because the latest DLC for Destiny is done, but majority of the team at Bungie are now focused entirely on creating Destiny 2. I know
Okay.
Sohail's excited for this one.
Yay!
Next topic.
We don't talk about Destiny here.
Taboo.
No Man's Sky is going to have a big update, guys. A big day one update. It's going to have a lot of things. The 3 paths. There's going to be now 3 paths you can take when you start the game.
Ooh.
The universe has the algorithm changed, so now there's going to be more variety of environments. Creatures are going to be more diverse, more variety to the planets. There's going to be like blizzard planets, dust storm
Animals will
planets.
poop resources.
There's going to be planet rotation, slow down, so that people can actually get on the planets better. There's going to be better terrain generation. It's no longer going to be as much pop-in. There's going to be more ship diversity. There's going to be better inventory for the ship. There's going to be better trading. The trading system is going to be deeper. You're going to be able to feed creatures and tame them and have them be helping you. Better graphical effects, better balancing. Exploits that people have been taking advantage of are going to be patched, so they can't take advantage of those exploits anymore. Space systems are going to be added. The ability to scan star systems other players have discovered. You're going to have ship scanning, so you can better find other people flying around the area.
This is after you buy the game?
No, this is day one update. So everybody been playing the leaked copies. They haven't been seeing this at all, and that's why Sean Murray's been saying, "Don't play this. This is not what people are going to experience when the game first comes out."
So if I buy the game on day one, I won't have to update it? This all you're talking about now
You
is
are
already
going it's
installed?
going to be mandatory day one update.
Because everything on the disc doesn't have all this on there, so you're going to have to download patch 1.03.
This is like a lot of work.
They've already had 3 patches before the game's even out.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like to me is wait a month and the game's going to be a shit ton better than it's going to be on launch day.
James Swallow, writer for Deus Ex, made a better story to the path. Those are the 3 choices that you take in the beginning. So story's going to be similar to what happened in Deus Ex, which isn't that great, but nice that they actually have some story in there now.
Didn't they say something about you're going to be able to build a settlement now?
Yeah, base building.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
That was part of Space Station.
No.
I love it.
And there's going to be a space station bar so you can meet with other people.
Ooh.
We can all meet up with each other and do bar fights.
Did anybody buy this game? How many of you guys bought this game?
I don't plan on buying
I'm waiting.
it.
I'm playing it tomorrow night. I'm excited for it.
You are?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, it comes out tomorrow night?
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow
If
night.
you
It
pre-order
does?
on PSN, it unlocks around 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Oh,
because we're
you
West
bought it
Coast.
digital.
Wait, so it
We're
comes
West
out like in 2 days?
Comes out Tuesday.
Oh,
He
what?
bought it digitally, so he's getting it tomorrow.
Sean Murray warned a lot of people not to play the game early, and this is part of why the servers for No Man's Sky will be wiped just before launch, so that everything will for this new patch will take in effect.
So basically, everything those guys did is
Gone.
Is gone.
Yeah.
Should have played it anyway.
No man's game.
Okay, games released this last week since this
That's
week
it for No
isn't
Man's
actually
Sky?
the situation.
That's all.
What
Um,
do you think that? Is there a reason why you think they didn't like ban those PSN accounts?
Why would they ban them? They didn't do anything wrong.
But how did they get the game?
They bought the game.
Was it somebody legitimately sold it?
You don't want to screw over your fan base just because they play in the
Why would
game
they
early.
ban them?
Oh yeah, some people got it for early. I forgot about that.
Okay, so games released last week: Abzu for PC and PS4.
That's really good.
Batman: The Telltale Series Episode 1
Oh my god.
on all platforms.
I've heard mixed things.
Etrian Odyssey
Ooh, Etrian.
on
Ooh,
3DS. That's a
she's
slow
wearing
game.
my Earth Knight shirt.
I don't like those games.
Really? And Overcooked
Ooh, is that a cooking game?
It is. It's a co-op cooking game.
It's a Double Fine studio
I
game.
want to get that game.
Online co-op?
We can do online co-op.
I hope it becomes a PlayStation Plus game.
Yes.
But we'll see in the future.
What if you can actually learn how to cook?
No, it's not like, it's kind of like Diner Dash. Remember that game?
No.
Where it's like you click on things. Like, I gotta serve food. I gotta take orders. I gotta do this.
Oh,
It's like that.
They gotta run your own restaurant.
It looks like it might be fun,
Fuck
especially if it's
that.
co-op.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys ready to cover our topics for the week?
Oh,
Blindly.
breaking news! I have breaking news. This week, a fan remake of Metroid 2 was released, and it was getting a lot of positive reception. You know what Metroid 2 is? That Game Boy Metroid sequel. And somebody took it and remade it with all new assets. So it was like really HD 2D sprite art.
I heard about this is in the making for a long time.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
he's been making it for years, and it got released earlier this week on like the 30th anniversary of Metroid.
Yeah.
And people are loving it.
That way, there's all those memes about Samus Aran being like all depressed
Mhm.
and by themselves, by herself, while
Yeah.
everybody else is partying.
Yeah, breaking news: Nintendo just took it down.
What?
Yeah,
Dang.
I was
Hey.
looking forward to downloading it.
So you're
too.
not on my side yet about Nintendo being dicks with their
30th year?
properties?
Well, if they're gonna come out and announce a new 2D Metroid, then I'll be happy.
Isn't his Metroid's 30th year?
They're
Yeah.
living in the 90s with their frame of thought on marketing. It's retarded.
Come on, Nintendo, get on it. Grow up.
Poor
Get
Nintendo.
on it.
Breaking news: Star Citizen is 2 years away from finishing. That's
It's a
breaking.
long while. A lot of things will change by then.
Started in 2009.
Does anybody play that game?
I don't know what he just
I
said.
feel like Will would like that game.
I would
Star
love that
Ocean?
game. Star Citizen.
I haven't
Star
played it
Citizen.
yet, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from it. So getting to our topics of the week, we're gonna cover Suicide Squad first.
Who did not see Suicide Squad here?
Who did not
I did
see?
not. I
Please
didn't have a
excuse
chance.
yourself from the room.
I don't care. About
We will not start till Tyler walks away. Go sit by the dumpster.
Start it off, Will.
Sit
Kick
in
it
the
off.
All right, so my major thing that I was disappointed with, I think, of course, was the Joker.
Womp womp.
Agreed.
Agreed.
So he'll agrees.
Everybody's agreeing on this?
No.
So say we all.
Stamp of approval.
Who doesn't agree?
I know somebody likes him.
I don't agree. He
Somebody
wasn't-
is not talking right now that totally
He-
disagrees with
I forgot it was
us.
here.
I don't totally disagree with you guys, but at the same time, it's like he wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, there was parts where you just kind of like cringe a little. You're like, I don't know if I would go with this, but he wasn't as bad as I thought he was gonna be.
So question here: you and Encore agree on this?
So you really
That's
liked
fine.
Encore, the Joker Encore?
Yeah, he was fine.
It didn't bother you at all how he was in love with Harley Quinn?
No, it's different take
See,
on
that
it.
was
I
actually
See,
like
that
okay.
was my problem. I didn't like that love story was so weak.
It was retarded because in the comics he was never infatuated
Yeah.
with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was the one that was infatuated with him, and he was a dick to her.
Yeah, he beat her up and stuff like that.
And because of that, you have a relationship between the two that she recognizes that he's absolutely evil, and she's like example in comic books when they're being tortured in the beginning, she says you haven't seen evil's real smile when she's being tortured or something like that because what you're doing to me is nothing. But in this movie, he would never hurt her in the head. Almost.
He hurt her.
I mean,
Yeah, they shocked the
but
shit
they,
out of
like,
Shocks the
in-
shit out of her. He throws her under the vat.
I know, and there was that part where he was starting to walk away, and then it was like, "Oh, I guess I'll go back." But he's totally infatuated with her. I mean, in
I
the
would be
comic,
too,
he
too.
shouldn't be.
Maybe he was just having fun. And he's like, I
but
don't
I
want to
think
die.
I do think that they didn't build it up like the Joker really doesn't care for her. But in the beginning, they kind of did it with Common, but they kind of built it up like he doesn't care. But at the same time, he kind of loved her. So I don't understand.
It humanized the
but
Joker.
he doesn't really show it. Like sometimes he'd miss her, but that's the most that he'd
Yeah.
ever show.
I agree too. I think I never read the comics or anything, but it would have been cool if the Joker, like you said, treated her like shit and was just completely mean to her, because you saw when she thought. Can we do spoilers or no?
No spoilers, please.
She was
Okay.
she was never.
we can spoil at the end.
She was started in the animated series, not the comics, anyway. So whatever you saw in the animated series when you were a kid growing up, that's the original Harley Quinn.
Okay.
that's when she was.
Yeah,
created.
but you see, you gotta be careful with it because this is a movie that like a lot of kids are gonna watch. So showing the Joker completely abusing
watch the
Harley
animated
Quinn
series.
is going to be bad.
was PG-13?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, this was
that's
the
that's another complaint I have.
Yeah, but see,
is-
if it's animated series is one thing, but if it's like real people, they're watching real people. Some girl getting like her ass beat the whole movie. they're gonna be like, oh, maybe I need to do that.
That's
The
when it's your
Suicide
job to
Squad
be a
is not-
parent.
It's not
the movie
Suicide
makers.
Joker and Harley Quinn. It's Suicide Squad, and that's
I
one
don't
of my
know.
biggest complaints.
I like the Joker.
Is
I
there's
just
an
don't know
entire
why he was
squad
in
of
it.
these people, and we only really focus on Will Smith.
Yes.
Harley
That was
Quinn and
my
the Joker.
complaint. That was one of my
Well,
complaints.
they are the
'cause
focus, even in comics. But I mean,
I felt like Deadshot was the main person in this movie. I think they should have called this, instead of Suicide Squad, Deadshot's movie.
I don't
Whatever
think he
it-
was that much of the focus.
Yeah, he
wasn't-
was.
No,
I
he
don't think
wasn't.
so.
He
the
had,
main
he had more
voice.
lines than anybody in the movie.
He was the main voice of the movie.
I don't think so.
And he was
He
a lead in
wasn't.
every single thing. Yes,
No,
he
he
was. And the only person that had a little less lines than him was the captain, whatever his name
Captain
is.
Flag.
Dude, that's
Captain
because
Rick Flag.
Deadshot was like the most professional.
The
The
guy
guy, all
that-
of them. He was a professional assassin.
Yeah,
So,
professional
He's
speaker.
the most deadliest person there. Everyone else is like some
That's the
dude with a
most-
boomerang, and then some fucking guy losing
That
a
is
crocodile.
bananas, what you just said.
I don't think Will Smith had an overabundance of lines. More so, there were characters who just didn't have much time at all. In my opinion,
I think
because
that
of Will Smith.
maybe characters can't speak like Croc. Killer Croc doesn't really speak that much in the cartoons as much. But
this Deadshot was nothing like the Deadshot.
No,
that
I agree.
saw.
I agree.
But even the very
the
beginning of the backstories, because I was saying like, oh, cool, like we're gonna get a backstory of everybody, and it was just like, oh, here's Harley Quinn's backstory, here's Will Smith's backstory. Okay, let's start the movie now. And I was like, what the fuck? Where's everybody else? What happened?
They-
And
I know. I kind of did
but
them
then
as
you
they
got-
went along, though.
but then you got a little bit of pieces here
Yeah.
and there, but it was nothing compared to Will
Oh.
Smith's or Harley Quinn's.
You know how in all the marketing for this movie, it's all that neon purple and all these different
Like green?
colors.
Yeah, what
Yeah. Remember that scene in the beginning where they were getting the medication and you had those colors, like the medication
Yeah.
going to the arm? That was really cool. I thought that looked really neat, and that was the only time you see it.
It's like the
that
old school
really
Bane
bothered-
style Batman. Was it Batman Forever?
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
it's
No, no,
cool.
no, that
The
really.
street stuff.
Well, I mean,
That's Batman.
it looked
Batman and Robin.
more
Batman
cool
and
than
Robin,
that.
yeah.
It wasn't on that corny level.
Right. No. Yeah. It did look cool, and
Do you know why that is though?
Why?
Well,
Explain.
because the director filmed the gritty film, but then the studio's like, hey, add this color and all this to it. So that was all the marketing.
It was just that one scene, though.
it looked good.
Exactly.
I know the studio did come back and change the color of the overall film and made it more blue.
They changed the marketing and trailers of it. So then they started adding it to the title screen and all that kind of
We
stuff.
could talk about that in another section.
Like the actual best character or the best person or villain or whatever it was in the movie for me was that, what do they call her, the sorceress?
The witch,
The Enchantress.
Oh, the Enchantress. Yeah, she was so awesome. Like that's she could dominate any of those guys head on, no matter what.
Did you like her later on?
I liked
Like
her.
what she looked like later on?
Well,
Okay,
when she's
Will
like
has something to
dancing
say.
around,
In the,
like
No, that was so
in the
dumb.
beginning, in the beginning, I liked her. In the beginning, I thought she was a cool character.
yeah,
Later on, I didn't like her so much because it felt like a cheap way to make it a PG-13 movie. Just let's have all these characters not be human. It's like the prequels of Star Wars. Oh, let's get away with a PG rating by making all the enemies robots.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
So
true.
the Jedi can fuck them up.
yeah.
No blood and anything.
Bash their heads in,
I
but
felt
they're
like
not
this
real
is-
people.
Felt
So.
like just an excuse, and the villains felt weak for me because of that.
Didn't villains look like that herpes?
Exactly.
disgusting.
Herpy heads.
They're like herpes-headed bodies.
These hits waiting to get popped.
That's what they look like, herpy heads.
That's what I thought. Anyway,
All of their little like pan-ins on their faces. Like Will Smith had so many close-ups on his face, and he's always like saying his lines. He's always crying. And then in one scene towards the end, when it was kind of like the climax of everything, it took like 15-20 seconds of him opening his mouth and yelling. And I was like, what the fuck is this? man?
I do think that Will Smith did have the most lines, and I think they really wanted to. Maybe the movie wasn't focused on Will Smith originally, and maybe it was more about the Joker, and Harley Quinn. But I think they really took this movie and said, "Hey, let's just focus on Will Smith's character." They should have, instead of calling the Suicide Squad, they should have just said something like, let's
Deadshot and Friends.
Deadshot.
I don't
and
think it
Friends.
was that focused on Deadshot.
I absolutely do.
I don't think so.
Completely.
Dude, in the beginning, it talked about his backstory. Whenever they started the movie, was so emotional. That's how they grab you.
It was so long.
That's some BDD.
And then
Right, Will.
he had even more backstory towards the end of the movie when he met with his daughter again. But
Yeah, I like that scene.
Jeff.
I mean, that's where
that's not a spoiler. Get the
that's
fuck outta here.
Jeff.
that's Will Smith's strength is being a family member, and that's Deadshot's weakness, of course, is his family. That's why he does everything he does, and even in the comic books. So, I mean, that he played that role of Deadshot well, but all the
It was
rest of
good.
all the rest of the personality was terrible.
But I mean, do all those
In my
other
opinion.
characters? Because I never watched. I don't really remember the animated series that well or read the comics,
I think
there's got to be other characters in this movie that had cool backstories.
Everybody
Deadshot
has-
was in Arrow too, so
Everybody-
Ryan saw that character there.
That
all
one's
those
completely
characters,
different than
all
this
Yeah, he
those
was a
characters, except for the
goofy-ass
guy
in
that
Arrow.
you
so
see
cool in
him.
Arrow.
No, he was. He was a dork.
Yeah,
He comes back.
All the characters have a good backstory. From what I remember, all of them have good backstory. The only person I didn't know was the guy that had snakes and sparklers. I forgot his name.
Kicking Wayne.
That was so stupid. He just comes in at the end.
Kick-
Oh, here comes Slipknot. They can climb anything.
And then he punches that female FBI agent as soon as he
I
gets off
laughed.
the bus.
I
That
was
was
like
so funny.
That was so
I was
dumb.
the only one in the theater that laughed out loud during that scene where his head got popped because I knew he was gonna die. Like even in the trailers, because he's the only one that like didn't make sense.
My favorite thing about him is that he came out and then he started like, he came out and his character is like, yeah, he can climb anything. And then
That's so stupid.
and then I was like, so what makes him so good?
This man can climb things.
But he doesn't really climb them. He
He
swings.
grapples.
Yeah, he grapples. So he's like Batman's
And
grappling.
he couldn't
hook.
even like grapple high. He grappled like, let's go to the semi-high part. No, let's go to this other one.
It's so
Pop.
dumb.
Yeah, but I didn't even know that guy was in the movie until I walked up to the.
You didn't
the movie
notice
theater.
him? He was like a Native American guy
Yeah.
standing wall with all these other characters.
I forget his name. Does anybody know his name?
All I know is Kicking Wayne and Joe Dirt.
No. So when I saw him,
Snakes and sparklers.
when I first saw him, I was like, dude, all he likes is snakes and sparklers. He's in this movie, and
got ripped.
and he's done.
I didn't like that scene when they all came out. All of them, as soon as they come out, they just punch people. It was stupid.
I thought it was
Anyway,
funny. I liked it.
First thing I don't want to spoil some. We'll wait till the end till we talk about spoilers. I want to do like a 10-minute section where we just do spoiling talk, or just moving on.
I want to backtrack to Harley Quinn. You guys liked Harley Quinn in the animated season, right? Animated series, right?
As
Her
the
voice?
jester?
Never seen it.
Oh yeah, the Boston, like the
Her
weird
voice. You've
New
heard
York,
the voice, right?
the weird New York.
Oh, yeah,
The accent.
Hey, Mr. J.
Yeah, she had touches of that
Ugh.
at points, but it felt like it was inconsistent. All the parts from the trailer, she didn't have it.
I thought so
And
too.
there's a lot of the other parts that she did have it. So do you think part of the reshoots was to add that voice to it?
I think
no,
so.
I felt like it was different whenever she was in a different state of mind. That's how I saw it. Because her personality was different when she was doing the voice different.
But when she was doing the accent in the car scenes when they were in the commercial, it was more of that New Yorkie type accent. Yeah, I think you're right, Ryan. I think
all the scenes where she's
mental
with
changes.
Joker, she's on like a different high of that insanity, and whatever he's doing to her is inspiring her to be that way.
I
But
agree.
she goes, so I'm known to be quite vexing to regular.
yeah.
And that's just really off to me. I don't
maybe
understand why
maybe
they did
that maybe Ryan's right. It may be a mental state of mind.
She's
no, no,
supposed,
no.
she's
It could
supposed to
be,
be
but-
crazy. It's supposed to fluctuate.
Because when you
Well,
we'll talk about it later.
Not
about the
originally,
second
but
part. But
She's
yeah.
always supposed to be crazy like that.
How crazy is she supposed to be? Because
She's
she's
really
not
crazy.
that crazy in this movie.
in the cartoons.
If crazy at
She
all,
was-
to be honest.
In the cartoon, she was crazy about the Joker. That's really what she was crazy.
So she's not
about.
like actually insane
Well,
like the
there's-
Joker.
there's
She's
an
just
ep-
crazy for him.
There's an episode where
It explains how
she got
came.
rehabilitated and she was out like being a normal person because originally she didn't jump in the vat like with Joker like he did in this. They did together in this movie.
Is that true to the animated series?
No.
She jumps in the vet.
She does not jump in the vat.
She wears
She just
makeup.
wears makeup.
Oh,
And she the whole startup story for her is exactly the same in this as it was in the animated story. How she
but
started.
yeah, she did the whole startup story part where they go to Arkham Asylum and she's assigned to him and he manipulates her. That is her original backstory. But she did not jump into the vat. But maybe that's part of why, I don't know, maybe it is dual personality. Since she jumped into the vat, she's like Joker now where she gets crazy, two-sided. I don't know.
she didn't seem that crazy in this movie. I don't know.
She licked the bars.
That's not.
So dumb.
I did. I just have-
Kaylee licks fucking windows and
All I-
chairs. That's not crazy.
all I
She's
have
crazy.
to say is that the movie did have a good soundtrack.
Oh, that's
I
the only
remember.
part that I liked about
That
this
was-
movie.
that was-
fully liked.
That's what I said to you guys. I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. Did you notice who sang Bohemian Rhapsody?
Which sounds
Panic
just the
at the
same
Disco.
as.
It was Panic at the Disco. It
I
wasn't.
saw them last night.
Oh wow!
They didn't like
Thanks-
put their own like
thanks
cool
for
spin on the
inviting
song
us.
at all. It was
Yeah,
just
thanks for
another
inviting
Thanks for
boring.
inviting us, Tyler. Jeez, always doing things without us.
They were extra tickets that somebody had.
Oh, okay, cool.
Of course.
You could have gave one to us.
Tyler doesn't even care. Look at his face. Don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I'm
There's
gonna
only,
look at my
there's
phone.
only one person here that would actually would have wanted to go to last night's show. And
Me
that's
and
Jeff.
Soya wanted to go.
I love Panic at the Disco.
I would have
like
gone.
Weezer.
That's the only band I like.
like Panic at the Disco.
That's the only band I like. That's the only band I
It's
ever
the only band I ever
watched.
liked.
In my life. I know
Heard you
every
talk
song.
about Panic
Play
at
that
the
sympathy
Disco.
card.
It's the only band. on his phone.
a whore.
By the way, I think he hates that song.
They played it last night.
Yeah, he doesn't like that song.
They
I
played it in
remember.
their encore.
And that's the one they're most known for.
Encore.
So anyway, so what I was gonna say, the soundtrack's pretty good from what I remember. It started the first like half of the movie. It's all real good music, and
You got
a lot of
Eminem
weird
in there
comedy.
too. That was cool.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
like
good.
that.
Was
But the
an
movie-
Eminem song?
Without Me.
Oh, okay, so it was an old one.
Yeah, it was an old one, and then they also
But it
had.
fit. Go
I
ahead.
don't know. What,
You
just like
say- what'd you
squeak or
say?
something.
But it fit.
But it fit. Okay.
Oh,
And then I was lost. I thought you said fit.
But it-
Okay.
Okay.
So the soundtrack was good, and I also enjoyed the comedy because it's kind of like the comedy at
comedy was good.
that section was pretty good. It made me laugh. I'm just saying, I giggled.
I heard you laugh, and I was surprised. I was like, he laughed at something?
Yeah, I laughed at
Did
those.
it bother you at?
They're a little overly sexual, but I enjoyed it.
it would have been more fun for me if during the actual, what do you call them, herpy head battle scene, they would have played not like a score, but an actual like ironic rock song or some type of rap song to make everybody seem like crazy and they're just killing people and they don't really give a shit who they're killing. That's what I would have liked more.
That would have been cool.
Take the score out completely and put all like well-known songs in.
I think they try to make some songs. I think the main song, which is like "Torture You," whatever, I forget what it's called. Encore, do you know the song with the main song for the?
No.
I sent it to you.
I don't remember. It was by Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz Khalifa does it, and I think that the movie is supposed to be mainly rap and rock. And from what I was reading online, like they state, I don't know if this is true, that the movie has been mainly supported by African Americans and Hispanic community was the big bulk of the movie ticket purchases. That's what they said. I don't believe it, but they say that's the one it helped it a lot. I want to talk about something.
For Diablo?
I don't know if it's Diablo, but it's something.
I would think.
Can we talk? I'm going to talk about this in the spoiler section all about Diablo.
Did it bother anybody else that all the villains did something at the end of the movie more heroic than what a lot of Batman vs Superman was?
This was a much better story than Batman vs Superman. That's all I have to
They
say.
were inspired, Will.
I don't like that.
It was dumb. Why do they care?
Yeah, exactly. They should. Yeah.
Well,
And my main gripe. Well, I'll save it for spoilers. Never mind.
what I was going to say is that if you think about it this way, every person wants to save their own life, and villains are the ones that want to save their lives the most. But I'm guessing,
They don't.
well, they are because they're self-centered ego. They have such egos towards themselves.
But they're right back where they started.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say. That's all I
That's
think.
not what something a
But
true villain would do.
But here's the thing: they didn't build that story in this movie to be that way. They made it like, oh, let's be heroes. But that's if they built it like, hey, you have no way out, you're gonna die, and you're an asshole. That would have been
They didn't
much
play
nicer.
on that as
Not to
much.
mention-
Usually, I mean, it was just her just on the phone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Plus, like, most villains want to be the center of attention. You know, they don't like another villain taking their, the spotlight. So if a villain sees another villain trying to take over the city, like, hey, fuck you, I'm going to take over the city. So they go after the villain. Even though it looks like it's heroic, it's not.
I wish they would replace I don't know her name, but the black girl who was doing the phone thing. She should have been CCH
Amanda
Pounder.
Waller.
She should have been
CCH
CCH Pounder. That's all I was saying. Like, damn, you'd have been so much better if you were CCH.
Amanda Waller is pretty badass in the cartoons. She's pretty evil.
She's like hugely fat.
Yeah,
she's
she's
like a
very
hippo in the cartoons.
she's
and
not
the
a
comics.
hippo, but she's not.
Yeah, she is.
Small.
She's huge.
Like
Hippo is
like
freaking
Kingpin status.
No.
Yeah, she's like Black Lady Kingpin, basically.
Really? That's pretty.
Meanwhile,
That's pretty
really
big.
short.
If I want to
think
say
she's
something, do you
shorter.
remember?
Meanwhile,
Do you remember the Donna from the cartoons? Donna from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Her size.
Oh, that's not that big.
Yeah, she's not huge.
She
Mean-
is
meanwhile-
huge. Have you seen? I'll go.
Meanwhile, the Amanda Waller in Arrow is, like, super skinny.
Yeah. She's way better than one in Arrow.
yeah, she was like
Everything's better
attractive in
than
her.
No, that's not true, Encore.
No, it's true. Literally everything is better than a Harrow. Eating dog shit is better than Arrow.
Is it really?
That's just stupid.
The
Don't be
first season of
Any-
Arrow was
any
good.
day of the
After
week.
that, it's pretty much got blame.
So, are you looking at Amanda Waller?
That's a big woman.
That's pretty big.
A big lady.
That is like Kingpin.
That's like
The
Donna.
female
Let me
version
see.
of
That's like
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
That is not like Donna. That's pretty big.
Precious.
Show us her body.
Will, let me see.
I just
Not just
I remember
upper.
her in the Justice League show.
Jesus
That was
Christ.
pretty good. That was a great show.
That's a big ass lady.
You see this movie Encore?
Yeah, I did.
You have anything to say about it?
I'll talk about it in the spoilers.
Oh, he's gonna unleash the dragon.
Saving it. All right, so we ready to give our ratings
Rate
on this
it.
movie?
Yes,
Rate it,
let's
rate it,
rate it, make it happen, baby.
We start with you since you're so excited. So
Oh, me? 6 out of 10.
Six what's? Six what's?
Croc head nods left to the right.
Tyler?
I haven't seen it yet. Probably gonna see it tomorrow though.
Tommy, go ahead.
I give it a 6.5
Out of what?
out of 10. Wait for it.
Harlequin Bros?
What? You know what? I actually was thinking that.
Look at you guys.
Joker braces.
Joker braces.
Joker
Grill,
had braces?
fool, Grill.
Yeah, grill, homie.
Grills.
Grills.
Yeah, whatever.
Encore, what do you give it?
6 out of 10 Harley hot pants.
Ooh, balls heck.
Jeff?
I also give it 6 out of 10 pussy villain movie
Wow.
thing.
Pussy.
Pussy movie? Okay. Ryan?
I give it 8 trenches.
Wow.
8
8 is
hearts.
high.
I enjoyed the movie.
Why?
I really did.
Why though?
I didn't.
I didn't hear you say why.
I didn't
Ryan's
feel.
still on his meds or something because Ghostbusters. and this, it makes no
I
sense
didn't
to
feel
me.
the big tonal shift when they got to the city. I thought it made sense to me when they're actually fighting for their lives, for them to act the way they did.
Bro, but how many times, all these end of the world movies have something in the fucking sky that's blowing up, the world ending?
That's true. It was
It's over. Even Marvel's doing it.
Another
Every movie.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters
I mean,
comparison. They had that big thing going
I had
on.
it. I put it on the same. I think it was better than Civil War. I enjoyed it more. I thought the
Whoa,
stakes were
wow.
higher.
Are you
Wait,
serious?
what's in Civil
Yeah, I
War?
liked it way more than Civil War.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
I don't think we saw the same movie, man.
Oh,
I don't think we saw the
Hey,
same movie.
these
Weren't
be
you
my
on, like-
opinions. You asked me why I liked it. I'm telling you why I liked it.
Weren't you
Okay?
like-
All right,
Weren't you
so
on
if we
Vicodin or
consider a 5 average and a 6 slightly above average, I would give it a 5 because
Well, you gotta make it complicated. Just
It was-
give
it
What are you
was
doing
a-
over here, Will? I don't even understand what you're talking
I
about.
don't know
Your
what you're trying to
arithmetic,
say.
trigonometry.
10 would be like a perfect film. 5 would be average. Below 5 would be below average. I would give it like a 4, but the characters, enjoying the characters, 5 points.
You give it a 5.5
One
out of
root
10.
We're not Tupperwares.
What?
5.5.
A high taste
Ki-
it.
What? 5.5 killer croc twitches out of 10.
Ooh, killer cock twitches.
He goes like this. And then he says,
Rabble,
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Head nods. Left to the right.
6.5 Joker growls.
That was really true. The growls. And then who has time to set up all those knives? Fuck off.
Man, that was so dumb.
That
I'm
was-
gonna put
that was
all
dumb.
these knives and guns at me and sit in the middle.
He was sitting there bored, and that's what it was. He's just waiting
That
to find
guy's
it.
had too much
Yeah,
time.
long password.
Go ahead.
All right, ready to move on to Life is Strange?
Oh, I thought we were ending.
Yeah.
That was a long discussion.
Shut up, Tyler.
It's in like an hour and a half.
Tyler's
Wow,
bored
man.
because he had nothing to say.
Cool.
Moving on.
Well, now you
Tyler.
do
This is
because
why I
you
haven't
played Life
moderated.
is Strange.
I get told to shut up.
I can't wait till you moderate. Oof.
Of course.
Sorry.
Fucking engineer.
What?
I never told you to shut up. What are you
No,
doing?
I'm talking about Jeff.
Oh.
I told you shut up.
All right, so what did you think, Tyler? Life is Strange for what you played of it so far.
I like it a lot. I do. I think
Have you played the Telltale games before?
No,
This
I
isn't
haven't.
Telltale.
I know it's not Telltale, but it's similar, right?
Kind of, yeah.
I think the story really sucks you in. I really enjoy it. Except the graphics could be better.
I actually like
Yeah,
the graphics.
well-
For a game that's just telling a story, I think the graphics could have been a lot better.
Well, it's a really low budget game.
I think Square
Yeah.
did.
Well,
I mean, there's
Square
moments-
Enix didn't put a lot of money into it,
No,
considering how big
no.
of a company it is.
There's moments that look great, I thought, but yeah, everything close up looks terrible. There's a really
Yeah.
good style to it, though. Like when you're
Frame
looking
rate
at
is bad.
something on the wall, you can see like it just like has lines, and then once you actually look at it in detail, you can see the actual text.
Because it runs well too, unlike Telltale games.
That's true.
I like the setting a lot too.
See, I finished the
It's
game,
very, it's very
and
similar
I
to Twin
can.
Peaks.
I'm
Yeah, that's
still
why I like
I'm
it.
still unsure if they're in high school or college, and I finished the damn game.
Isn't
I
it
thought so,
Isn't
too.
it college?
I thought it was
I
high
think
school.
it's college. But
I think
they
it's
say
high
a lot,
school.
They say a lot of
There's
things
no
that
way
makes
it's
me
high
think it's high
school.
school, but it's
I
like,
think it's like a school that's like probably like 6th grade to 12th grade that you go for a specific purpose,
It's
either
like-
be it photography, music, stuff like that. Because one
There
of
are
the
schools
guys
like
talks
that.
about like beer and drinking, and then he's wearing like a beer jacket. I was like, there's no way in hell you'd be allowed to wear that in high school.
yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a high school boarding school, but so much of it makes me think it's a college too, and they don't
It has
really make it
dorms.
clear.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
boarding school.
I think it's one of those
It feels
schools
like
where
a college to me. She's 18.
like
But
a
the thing
trade
is-
school type of thing where you go for
No,
specific
no,
purpose.
this explains it. She's 18. It's college.
You could be 18 in high school at the end.
She's not.
But they do
it's
talk
not
about
senior year.
early
She just
year,
barely
yeah.
started
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's college, but some of it does, like the way they
I can
talk
understand.
about
I can understand why.
the way they talk about drinking and sex in it. It makes it seem like they're still in high school, but I think it's college.
See, I haven't got that far, so I can't really say on
And
that.
then Chloe is old.
Oh yeah, she's very old.
Chloe's like supposed to be like 20 something.
The characters, I thought the characters had a lot of good depth to them. Some weird characters like the janitor and the security guard.
I feel so bad for the janitor.
The guy who's painting the.
What is his problem?
I don't
Why is
know
he so
exactly
weird?
what his disability is, but he is like mentally
He's a very interesting
handicapped.
character, though.
Yeah.
Was like talking.
Is he autistic or something?
I
I,
don't-
haven't got to his character yet. So
Wait, is he the one where you take advantage of him hanging the paint thing up? And
Yeah.
oh, poor guy. You get fired for something like that.
I enjoy the graphics. I'm sorry I went back a little bit, but I enjoy the graphics.
Yeah, I like the art style a lot.
Sorry.
I don't know. I just think for such a big company making it, I think they could have put some more money into the graphics.
I think. Yeah,
I mean, look at Final Fantasy 15. Look
Well,
how amazing that's gonna look.
But that's
and
the
they-
reason they took this risky project is because it's so cheap. So it's like the risk of them making it is like
I like
nothing.
this style. I think it's a great style. I think it's a great way of telling a story.
I
The
agree,
game's
and that's why
huge.
Telltale games look like they do. Is this budget?
Well, Telltale can do whatever the fuck they want. They have all this money. They're just cheap.
who is Telltale? I don't.
Telltale,
The Wolf Among Us? Is that
they-
the same?
They're the ones that did The Wolf Among Us.
The
Yeah.
Walking Dead,
That's a good
Walking,
one.
they have so many games.
So since we're talking about Telltale, I want to say something. John asked us a question
Right now?
about not right now, but earlier this
Oh.
week, and he asked.
why don't we
us-
do this after Life is
Okay,
Strange?
I'm
You're
sorry.
breaking
We'll
the
move
flow.
on.
Is
I'm
John
sorry.
watching our Periscope?
No.
Like he's
I
been
don't
wanting
think
to.
so.
But this game totally outdoes Telltale. The characters and story are so far above, and I felt like the actual choices you make, I felt really affected by them. Even though it boils
real
down,
choices.
it boils
Yeah.
at the end. It boils down to a binary choice ultimately, but there are things throughout that
Do they-
really change it.
So I don't think this is really spoiling anything because it's something that you probably see in a trailer. But you have a gameplay mechanic of being able to rewind time and change the choices that you make and see what the other choices
Like
are.
Prince of Persia.
So it's kind of similar. So it's kind of cool that you can do that. But there's times like I would make an action and then rewind time and then not sure if that action would carry through or not.
Yeah.
That I saw that, and it turned out it did. But they could have explained that a little bit better.
So your choices are really that detrimental on the story?
At certain moments in it, but
Because
like,
I feel like when I make a choice, I'm like, fuck, should I do that? And then I go back. But in the end, it's just kind of the same
there are
outcome right
points.
there.
Is like either way you don't win.
yeah. So the choices that you make in the first episode, stuff will come and get you in like episode 4. But like the
Okay.
ultimate ending of the game, it boils down to one or two things. Essentially.
Whoa.
Because I'm going to buy the
Deus
whole game
Ex.
eventually.
No, the Mass Effect 3 of stories.
Mass Effect. I like this game. I had a good time.
I was
It was
enjoying
fun.
the 20 minutes I played of it. I enjoyed like a lot of the music the music that she puts her headphones in. I like that. It felt like I was a high school student,
Mhm.
even though I wasn't.
Yeah, walking down the hallway.
Like a special high school student, like not a real high school student, but like
Because
one
this
of
high school
maybe.
is nothing like our high school.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
it's
say
college. We decided it's a college.
I still
It is
think that
college.
this is like a high school / college trade school type of thing where people go for specific.
I think this was like an art school, like
Jobs.
OSHA. I feel like it was
Yeah.
an OSHA type school, like a Orange County School of Arts. And what they did is they had maybe like 25 students in the whole school, and that's what I felt like in the X-Men class. It felt like that, but
Yeah,
then
because like the principal it seemed to know everybody. Everybody knew each other. So
Yeah.
it seemed very.
what
very
if she's
strong
secretly an
into it.
X-Man and this is her power?
That'd be so
Oh,
awesome.
That'd be really cool.
maybe that'd be cool.
This turned into like an X-Men
Are they going to
game.
make a sequel or anything to this, or is this?
They haven't
this done?
said they've like the company said that they want to do more in the universe, but it doesn't really make sense. It's like it's a contained story. I don't want a sequel
So
to it.
it doesn't. There's not like an open ending to it. It's just
No,
pretty
it's a
much-
solid ending. I would like them to make another game like this, a completely new story, but I don't want a sequel to it.
What was the team that was working on it other than Square Enix?
Don't Nod is their
Don't
name.
Nod, yeah.
They made that Remember Me game. That was the last game they made, and that game was supposed to be a Sony exclusive, and then Sony dropped it when it didn't meet like a quality standard. So I think Capcom picked it up, and it kind of disappointed people.
Wow.
Was that the one with the big butt on the screen? On the
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool game though, but didn't really. Their next game is some vampire game. It's called Vampire.
I feel like I'm broadening my horizons with this because the first game I think was Gone Home,
You didn't
and
like
it kind of I didn't hate it, but I just thought the story was.
Well, you liked The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, okay, you're right. That was the first one that I played. That was kind of like story driven rather than just the
Yeah.
normal games that I normally play. And then was Gone Home, and I was kind of like, oh, this kind of a cool genre of games that I can play. And then 3/4 Home came out, and that was a really cool game. I like that more than Gone Home.
Oh, Jeff's growing.
And then this is really cool. Like this is actually like a cool story about this girl, and the very first thing that she does is like turn back time and save that girl from getting shot.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
in
gotta
the
be
The
bathroom.
first major thing.
I don't-
Yeah, like when that
think-
happened, I was like, holy shit, this thing just got real. Like, wow.
I don't think that's a big spoiler because that's like very, very
It's very
beginning.
beginning.
It's
Yeah.
within like a
Well,
few
you have-
minutes.
you
It's a
have
very
to savor,
pivotal
no?
moment. Yeah.
no matter what, you have to savor.
Yeah.
There's no choice about it. But
Butterfly.
after that happened, I was like, wow, this is really fucking cool. And then since I've only played like an hour and a half of it, but it was a really good game.
So what
Yeah.
would you rate it?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
8.
Out of what?
I just said I'm 10.
Gotta give it a cute. Gotta give it a cute pun, Jeff.
10.
Come on.
8 out of 8.
8 out of 10.
10 what?
I don't know.
I give it a what I played 7.5 self portraits out of 10.
I'd give it 8 out of 10 blue butterflies.
You finished it?
No, I just played the first episode.
I'm the only one who finished it. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gotta finish.
Like,
it.
You're the
such
one
a
that is
bitch,
I think I'm
man.
gonna wait for a deal on
It took me like 2 hours because I was looking at every single thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I can take a picture. Oh, that's pretty cool.
There's a lot of trophies.
Yeah,
too,
there's a lot of
I noticed.
trophies for taking
Yeah,
pictures
a lot of
in the
extra
first scene.
For such
How
a
much is
short
it
game,
for the whole
it's
thing?
20 for all 5.
When I got it, it was $8.
Yes,
It
yeah.
was
that's why I kinda
$12 a
wait.
couple weeks ago.
I'm sure it'll go down again.
It'll go down again.
I
It
took
goes
a
on
picture
sale
of a
lot.
table with some words on it, and I got a trophy.
Yeah,
So Ryan, you finished it.
I
What's
did.
your rating?
I give it 9.5 hipster cameras. out of
God.
10.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
that's a good scope.
It's
It's
a
a high
damn good
rating.
story. Goes to good places.
I'm excited. I might
Guess
just
I
pay
better
the full
finish
price for it.
Yeah, it's well worth finishing. It's
Wow.
one of the best
Is
games I played
Ryan,
last
is
year.
it worth the $20 for the whole thing?
I was happy buying it for $8, but I wouldn't be mad at myself for paying $20 for it.
Good. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's well worth the full price, but just wait a little bit. It'll go on sale.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do.
Play some more Battlefront, watch some more Dick Van Dyke. It'll go on sale.
And
That's
Golden
probably
Girls.
what I'm going to do this week, and I'm going to put it in the show notes too.
I know you will.
And we'll
Ooh.
talk
Company.
about it. We'll talk about it next Sunday.
And I read
everybody will
last
yell at me.
week that they're making a TV show.
What kind? Oh,
Life is Strange
Life
TV
is
show.
Really? It would make a good TV show.
Yeah.
Like Degrassi, but with time traveling.
I don't know what.
What is it on, like,
exactly
that
what it
doesn't
is.
interest me.
They haven't announced the carrier or anything, but they're developing a TV
Has
show.
anybody watched Drake get shot in Degrassi? It's
I
so
have.
funny.
It's pretty
It's
stupid.
so funny
Drake looks so different in Degrassi.
because
than he
he's
does now.
actually a person, not
He's like
an
a
asshole.
giant dork.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you give it, Tyler?
I give it 8 out of 10 shutter clicks.
Ooh, that was a cute
Oh
one.
my god!
Uncle, did you play it?
No,
Okay, I was
I
just
thought you started it.
I lied.
Why you lie to me?
Aw.
There goes our friendship. I'm not giving you stocks anymore.
Oh, not at the wedding now.
Give me all your GoPro shares.
7.9 dinglings.
And market's closed on Saturday or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mondays when it opens.
They close early on Friday too.
All right, Stranger Things. Did you guys know that they're thinking about making a video game about this?
I do
Yes.
know.
Do you
I
think
think
it'd make a very good video game?
It would make a good video game if it's like Life is Strange.
Yeah, I think that's
the
what
only
would be
way
really
they could do
cool.
Ooh, that would be really cool.
Imagine having a game where you're one of those kids
Oh,
and
God.
having to go. You can have different stories for each one.
Life is
Like
Strange
going
mixed
home.
with Alien, so that we can just.
I think
hunt for
it,
the
I think it
monster.
would be cool if they did like a Life is Strange version, but more of like on the Dr. Brenner side, like kind of like a backstory on him and why he's conducting all these
I
experiments.
could
and
totally see
how it all came
Telltale
about.
Games doing a Life is
No,
Stranger Things.
no, I don't want them to do it
Why not?
because they make their engines shit. I'm tired of playing these games that run like shit.
They do good storytelling though.
Shit.
Some of they're hit and miss.
Yeah, a lot
Did
of
you
them.
like the Back to the Future one?
I haven't played that one, but I
I
heard it
don't-
was bad.
I don't like that one.
Do you? I think that the video game would be cool by if you played in anybody's shoes in that game, like in the show. You could play it as a sheriff. You can play as this.
I want to be Winona Ryder and just whine.
I thought Winona Ryder's character in the very first episode felt like Winona Ryder from Mr. Deeds when she started yelling and making excuses.
She was like Two-Face in that one though.
what?
I give it 10 out of 10.
There you go.
Whoa.
10 out of 10 what?
I don't know.
Yankee piece.
I've lost my jokes for tonight.
I give it. Oh,
Oh, yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
No,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
circle.
I'll give it a 9.5. Fancy hair by that one guy.
Steve.
Yeah. Fancy hairdos.
I give it-
9.5. Sorry.
I give it a 9 out of 10 lens flares
Ooh,
because there's a lot of lens flares.
I
in
haven't
that show.
noticed any lens.
I
Oh
haven't
my
noticed
god,
any.
Fucking
so
JJ.
much.
it wasn't
Fucking
as
JJ.
pronounced as I thought.
I
it
don't
was.
kidding
know.
me?
I haven't noticed
No.
any.
You guys are crazy.
It's not. It's much subtler than
No, it's
JJ.
not.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
If he hasn't noticed,
Yeah, I haven't noticed it.
Ryan doesn't care about lens flare.
Tyler complains about things like lighting all the time in movies. I never hear anyone complain about lighting.
Are you kidding me? Like, look at Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith like has some of the worst fucking lighting in movies.
That's a fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie.
lens flare.
I got mad at the lighting for Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. I'm like,
Yeah,
why is
sometimes it
everything
looks
so
so
fucking
shitty.
dark?
It is very
Some
dark.
movies are way too
your
dark.
eyes don't work.
What do you rate it, Will?
I give it 10 out of 10 hour
Oh
D&D
my-
sessions.
Oh my god!
Damn.
Oh my god.
Even Will gave it 10.
10 out of 10 hours.
Holy
What do you give
shit.
it, Tommy?
What?
What do you give it?
Oh, I haven't
From what
seen
you've
it.
seen so far.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Okay, so Ryan, what do you give it? I'll go.
So far, I would give it.
But I might see it now.
Oh, well, my rating would be a
Looking at these
spoiler.
ratings.
I'll give it 9.
I just did spoilers.
I know, but the rating I wanted to give it was a spoiler. That's why I want to say it.
What?
I'll give it.
Spoiler for who?
I'll give it 9 out of 10 gooey walls so far.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, see, now I can't watch it because you spoiled
That's
it.
not the spoiler. Spoiler
Tommy's not
involved
gonna
the
watch
body.
We all know Tommy's not going to watch it.
At least I watched some of the stuff, Tyler.
If the ending
Ooh,
pays
I
off,
Hey, I've done two out of the three things.
If
you've
the
done
ending
one.
pays
First
off,
time.
if the ending pays off, it could get a 10, but we'll see how it goes.
Shaheen?
I give it a 9.5 baby teeth.
Did you just call him Shane?
It's missing teeth.
Shaheen.
Do you think that kid's actually missing teeth, or is he wearing some?
I think
kind of
that
prosthetic?
kid
It's a
actually
disease.
has that
Or some
problem.
kind of disorder.
Because
It's-
he talks like he
Spoiler,
has,
spoiler.
doesn't have front teeth.
I think he
That's a
has.
spoiler.
From what he says in the movie, I think he says he has micro dysplasia,
Yeah.
What is it called?
and that's it's like the teeth are baby's teeth.
Vagina dentata?
I don't know what is it.
Vagina
Will, do you know what it is exactly?
Should
Do
You just keep your baby teeth. You never get
you know what the
adult teeth.
name is though? Other than I
No,
just
They
I don't
never
know what the
fall
name of
out?
No, I
They
think
never-
I think the disease that he has in the show is that his baby teeth fall out first, and then his adult teeth grow way after the baby
Mhm.
teeth
Oh,
fall
yeah.
out.
He
Yeah.
keeps
I think
saying
that's
the
what
teeth
it
are
is.
coming.
Yeah, and then I don't want to spoil
Like
it.
Winter?
Something happens where he actually talks about it more.
Okay, you guys ready for the secret Willy?
Ooh, Willy me,
Secret Willy of the week.
Willy me.
All right, here we go. World of Warcraft has a DLC coming in, and
laugh.
it has a tribute for Destiny in it.
What?
Ooh. They have a vendor by the name of Zerlos. Of course, the Easter egg of Zer, who sells exotic weapons at the tower. In
Age of the
Destiny.
Nine.
He's gonna have some themed merchandise too. He's gonna have Crota shield, Galler's horn, an Ingram's puzzle, a mote of light, and I think that's it. You can purchase this stuff with curious coins
Oh my god.
instead of strange coins.
Curious coins.
Sounds lazy.
So my question to you guys is Destiny make such a big impact on the gaming community that we'll see more tributes to it like this and influence on the gaming
Outside
World?
of Blizzard Activision? No,
outside of Blizzard Activision?
I don't think so. I think it's just because it's
Why would Blizzard Activision play tribute to this?
Because Activision
made the
made Destiny, right?
I mean, well, Blizzard.
Bungie did.
I'm sorry, Blizzard.
Because
Why would Blizzard?
Activision owns
Blizzard does whatever they want, though.
But Activision owns them, so
Yeah.
they're still under the same umbrella company. So it's
They
just
probably-
like, it's just cute.
So are you expecting to see more in Activision? Is what you're saying?
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a nod in next Diablo. No, or
I wouldn't be surprised either. I just think that I think they're just trying to ride that wave that game was so cool and that vendor was so interesting and
Well, it's popular to hate on
Yeah.
it.
because
I
I
mean-
know
I mean,
Activision worked
they're
a
making
lot
jokes.
with Bungie to fix a lot of the issues in Taken King. I remember like somebody that was one of the heads from World of Warcraft went in there and they're like, this is how you keep players interested. This is how to get them back. This is how we do our MMO. So that's why a lot of the changes in Taken King happen. So they have a synergy together where they work off each other. So I
Not
think
to
that's
mention,
why.
World of Warcraft is known for their little gags here and there. So
Have they done gags on other games like this
Yes.
before? How many?
Yeah.
What video games?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
on
but-
all their games they make gags. And
I know right now, like
Other than
for
the stupid panda one.
like for right now in the next expansion, if you buy it, you can get like wings from another game of theirs. You can get
Diablo?
like armor from another.
Do you remember when you played Warcraft, the games, the overview strategy games?
Yeah.
Do you remember when you clicked on a character and they said weird things?
Oh yeah, they had a lot of.
They do a lot of
Jokes in
weird.
that,
They have
yeah.
a lot of weird jokes.
That's
and all
true.
Yeah,
their
they do that
videos.
too.
So it's a normal thing for Blizzard to do.
Yeah.
I think it really was an easy shot for him to take. Like, hey, this is gonna be funny. Everyone's gonna love this. This guy's gonna take things like curious coins, and we're gonna have something called the Gala horn, which is actually a horn that
Gather's horn.
Yeah, so it's an easy joke that you can play, and I'm sure everyone's gonna run to it and be like, look, I got all the Destiny shit, and that's how it's gonna be.
It'd be fun to see more games do or have Destiny as the butt of their jokes. You know, like the constant grinding, rather than have the Zer wannabe there. It'd be kind of funny to have some character.
Well, WoW's a constant grind itself, so.
Well, we've already had games that take the concept and try to make it its own, like the Division. Do you think we'll have more games like that? Like
I don't think
Division?
so.
Or do you think Division was such a failure and it's not going to happen again?
I think Division showed that hype wave's pretty much been ridden.
How many people are still playing Division, do you know? Anybody know?
Just slow.
Not nowhere near as much. I think more people are probably playing Destiny right now than Division.
I think that the first-person shooter grind game, it was such a firestorm that everyone picked it up. People played the shit out of it. Then people got tired of it. Then I think people are really tired to go into another one. So I think that's why Division didn't do so well. But I also think that that's just the future.
Division just wasn't very good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Didn't have a good lore.
What do you think? You don't think it had good lore?
I think Destiny was definitely
Had,
better
like,
than
no
Division.
lore.
Oh, Destiny was way better than Division.
Destiny was way better in some parts, but I don't think it had a great story. I don't think that.
Well, Destiny, they fixed the story later.
Yeah.
So
I still think reading a grimoire card is retarded.
It had a great story. You just had to look for it, which is kind of annoying.
it had a lot of lore. I had a lot of deep lore. The world was very cool.
Wasn't Destiny supposed to, like, be the next Halo kind of thing?
Yeah.
I think it passed
Basically,
it.
yeah.
It surpassed it.
It kind of did. Kind of didn't.
I consider myself a casual gamer, and I played so much. I've never played a game that much ever.
Yeah.
It's because it was so social. That's why you liked it.
Sure, they did it. It hooked me.
I think if you played World of Warcraft, you'd probably be the same.
There's just too much grinding.
It's the same grind, and with World of Warcraft,
Probably
there's
less
so
grind because there's actually more to do, so you're not doing
There's
the
a
same
lot.
missions over and
There's
over
a lot-
again.
there's a
And with
lot.
World of Warcraft, there's so
That's-
many different missions, but you'd enjoy it. I know you'd like it. The reason
Well,
why
it's-
there's such a big payoff.
I'm gonna
Just
download
some
WoW
things.
this week. I'm gonna play WoW.
Shut up, Ryan. I'm never playing WoW with
Come
you
on,
again.
so you'll play
Tommy's
with me.
eyes just
No.
lit up when you said
Tommy
it.
play Tommy's excited for.
You know
the
why I
next
don't
World
want
of
to play
Warcraft.
WoW with?
We already told the story.
I sick and tired when Ryan made me move. It took me a long ass time to get there. Then he
told us
freaking
this.
quits after 2 minutes of playing with me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm tired of killing pigs." Then he freaking leaves.
I tell you what, the beginning parts of WoW is really, it literally is the grind. It's boring. The first couple levels, actually the first 50 some levels. Once you can,
Jesus.
once
First
you,
40 hours.
Once you can, once
After
you-
40 hours,
Listen.
and then you're like,
Listen, if you get, for example, like there's some characters that start off at level 60, the new characters that are coming out start at level 90. When you can fly and all that stuff, it becomes so cool because there's no more like long-term travel. It's like really quick. You can get everywhere. If you start going into like, player versus players, there's arenas and stuff. That's actually where most of the people gather. It's arenas and raids. That's what the game is mostly for.
Yeah, I enjoyed the arenas
Well,
when I
that shit
played the
is fun.
arenas.
That's the end game of Destiny: arenas and raids. Yeah.
Yeah, the raids were really fun. You can even do your own personal raids if you wanted to. If you're good enough, you can raid like a little, not a town, but like a tower or something like that were out there. You can raid one of those.
Yeah, I did that with a bunch of friends.
And
We
it
raided
was
the
really
Horde.
fun because you felt like you were like really fighting.
Yeah.
But
This next time,
there's
Ryan's
no
going to
load
ask you to
screens.
meet at Zerlos so you can get Galar's horn.
nice. Next.
As a
Alright.
mage, I'll just tell
So
him.
next, we're going to move into viewer mail.
So a person named by John straight up sent us a message, and it says, "Episode 1 of Telltale's Batman series released this week. I played around with the previous Telltale games like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us,
Good one.
but this is the first in the series that interests me enough to buy the season pass. What do you guys think of this first episode? And what is one other universe like Spider-Man, for example, or Terminator, would you like to see Telltale explore more of?"
good question, John. Has anyone played the first episode yet? No. We're waiting that one out.
Well, we haven't played it, but we did play Wolf Among Us, and some of us played the other game, like Walking Dead. I did it on my iPad.
The first Walking Dead season was really good. I haven't played
Watch
the
Game
second
of the
one yet.
Year.
I don't think it was that good. The ending
It
was
did
good.
get Game of the Year,
The
though.
ending made me cry.
From what, VGA?
So, what do you think? John's asking, like different genre would you want to see
Or what
Telltale do, or different storyline would you like
What
to see? them?
franchise? What
Yeah,
else?
Stranger
franchise.
Things.
Stranger Things. We already talked about that.
Maybe.
one.
What about?
But we
an
want it
anime?
so bad.
That's a good question.
What
I'll
about
say
an
what
anime?
John's pick is after. Go ahead, guys.
What about like an anime like
so
the
Will
Gundam
said Stranger
series?
Things. What do you say, Tommy?
The Gundam series.
Gundam series. Gundam like
Wing.
the wing. Okay. Ryan?
Come back to me. I'm thinking.
Jeff?
So these
Destiny.
Telltale games, they all look like Wolf Among Us.
They'll
Yeah.
be kind of like
Like
Wolf
that
Among
style.
Us.
Like
It's all exactly like Wolf Among
Exactly.
Us. Yeah.
the
That's
choices
that's
you
what the new
make.
Batman one is.
Okay, I think it'd be cool. I'm down to play the Batman game.
But he's asking
Well,
what franchise
If you
would
could have a
wanna see?
new one, what franchise would you have it be?
Maybe something like Star Wars related would be cool.
Ooh, that'd be
Star
cool.
Wars one would be cool. Yeah.
Encore?
Dash Rendar.
None.
Damn.
You don't want to see okay.
want to see it.
I don't like
Encore doesn't like his
I don't-
media interactive.
I don't like Telltale games.
Okay, Tyler?
Valid.
I can't relate. I've never played a Telltale game.
Well, it was kind of like
I
what we
never
just
played either,
Strangers.
but still I had an opinion.
Life is Strange. Same thing. Life is Strange.
It's very similar. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
A game. What franchise would you
I
like
was
to
doing something for the podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
What franchise would you like to see become like Life is Strange? Like a story.
I think any Final Fantasy related thing would be cool.
Okay,
I don't
Final
know.
Fantasy.
I just love Final Fantasy. That'd be cool.
Final Fantasy is kind of like that already, kind of. But
yeah,
not
but if
really.
it's more interactive, like
Final Fantasy.
Just
if you have
Stranger
I don't know.
Things. Just say Stranger Things.
Don't steal Will's. Ryan, did you have one?
I thought of one.
Just say Cars.
Go ahead.
I would like to see the Terminator franchise reimagined.
That would be a good one.
Yeah,
actually.
because all their choices could affect the future.
That would be a really.
That would be cool.
I dig
really
that.
good
Very
one.
interesting.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So, what would John like to see?
John said that he would like to see Destiny.
Well,
Be his pick.
that's bullshit, John.
We talked about Destiny a lot in this episode.
And the reason
No,
why
it's all
I
about
don't
it.
wait. I need
Because it's
to
Destiny to talk
get to
about it.
his reason why. John states that the reason is the story-based game is non-existent, but there are a lot of interesting characters in the game, such as I don't want to say Kayad 6. How do you say this guy?
Cade 6.
Cade 6 and Lord Shax. Is that Shax?
Lord Shax, yeah.
Time giving them some tales and giving some Borderlands treatment.
I agree. It could actually make a pretty good game. I mean, it would actually give it a story.
Yeah, they made Tales of the Borderlands is supposedly really good, and Borderlands story is pretty poopy too.
Yeah.
I didn't get to say my choice.
Oh,
Which is...
I would like to see them make like a Poltergeist one or something like that, like something like a scary one. Maybe The Exorcist as a preacher. That would be pretty scary.
That'd be...
power of Christ compelled.
Like you-
they haven't done a
Not
scary one yet,
today.
have they?
No, well, Walking Dead.
That's not really scary, though.
What I mean is like you're the preacher from beginning to end.
I guess it did have some spooky moments.
I mean, it's zombies. It's supposed to be
It's
scary.
like cannibals and things.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
There's
moving
that
on.
whole dinner scene, and that was so.
Spoilers. Well, I'm gonna leave.
All right, listeners, the rest of the podcast is going to be spoilers. We're going to start off with
That's so
Suicide Squad spoilers, and then going
Where
to
did he
move on
go?
to Stranger Things.
So just wants to be with Tommy.
Spoilers. One of my big gripes is Deadshot had a chance to kill Harley Quinn right there. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Why would he not?
Exactly.
Because they're gonna do it.
Oh, because she's hot.
It's
No.
so stupid.
Because they bonded.
Didn't they have sex in the cartoon?
He loved his wife. He
comedy.
wouldn't betray his wife.
No,
That's
he
not-
said
that's
he
not
never
like
loved
Deadshot.
anybody.
He was a divorce.
You don't know if he's lying
It
though.
said ex-wife, dude.
Well,
In this movie, they said ex-wife.
I thought he liked her.
It makes no
No,
sense that he
no.
wouldn't kill Harley Quinn to get either out of jail or less time on his prison
Don't
sentence to be
you-
with the only person he truly cares about, which is his daughter.
Don't you remember
Makes
him
no
saying
sense.
that his
he-
wife cannot bring her boyfriend Dion?
Yeah.
He cannot bring Dion.
Not just
He
that,
does
but
not like
didn't,
her.
didn't he say, I don't kill women and children when they were at the bar?
Yep, that's true. He
So
says
there
I
you
don't kill
go.
women and children.
Who gives a shit? He's a fucking villain. He's not a.
But he
has
has a
rules.
code. He has
oh
a
my
code.
god, he's not Leon.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not like a villain. He's just a merc for hire, basically.
Villain.
He doesn't give a shit who he kills. He kills family men. He kills anybody he wants to.
He states that he doesn't kill women and children.
Oh my
But in
God.
this day and age, who is a man or woman?
Wow.
You know, because you don't have
We're
a
not,
gender.
Okay,
we're,
that's
not,
not-
we're not going down this road.
Regardless, it was very unvillain-like for him to think, "Oh, I don't kill women or children, so fuck my
Exactly.
daughter."
I like it.
Why
I'm
do
gonna
they
go
care
back to
about
prison.
You know what, though? I
So
don't-
stupid.
They don't have to be 100%
But you know
villain.
what?
They're trying to show you the human
would-
side of
But
the
then why even make
characters,
this
too.
fucking movie?
Why? They
It's
show you the
Suicide
human
Squad.
side of
He's
them.
a hired assassin
Oh
that
my
just kills
God.
people for a
But
living.
he
It makes
doesn't
them all
kill
look like a
women
bunch
and
of-
children.
It makes them all look like a bunch of pussies.
She's a
then.
villain.
But he states that he doesn't kill women and
Oh,
children.
God.
Hey, not to mention,
Villains can have their
let's-
own rules.
Circular
let's
argument's
not
gonna go
forget-
nowhere.
Hey, let's not forget that Amanda Waller gave him the order to kill her, and he was more pissed off that she was ordering him around. So I
But
think he
she
did it
has
on
the
purpose.
power to put him back with his daughter.
I think
Yeah, but he didn't take.
I
it
think that
all
he's
as
like-
a villain. He's like
The
yeah,
only
fuck
person
you.
he cares about is his daughter, and he should have done everything in his power to be with his daughter, and he didn't, and that's what bothers
my
me.
thing. I think that happened was he missed shooting her because Amanda Waller was bossing her around. That's one thing he wanted to fire. Number two, he knew if he shot her, she wouldn't blow her up. I mean, if he didn't shoot her, he wouldn't blow him up. She wouldn't blow him up because she knew that she still had a ways to go and needs Deadshot. You can't lose 2 and only have 3 people left. You lost Harley Quinn.
It still
you
doesn't
lose
benefit
Deadshots.
him though.
Yeah, but he's like, fuck it, I have to stay alive anyway. I'm just gonna do what I
What
gotta
I never
do.
understood was if they have an explosive in their neck, how come they didn't, and there's a lot of times when they were really close to her or the flag, why didn't they just grab them really close and be like, go ahead, blow me up, you're gonna go with
Because
me.
remember, it only blows up like a mini concussion. Didn't you see that kicking wing?
Dude, the
didn't
guy's
die.
head, the whole head blew up.
I was hoping that one of them would be badass and just like cut it out with a knife
It would probably
and be
blow
done
up.
with it.
It was injected pretty deep though.
They're villains.
Yeah,
These are
but
the-
who's
these-
the-
This is the biggest pussy group of villains I've ever seen in a movie.
Why is that like your go-to complaint that they're villains?
Because what this movie's based on.
It
It's a
shows
sui-
it shows
it's
you
a
the human
Suicide
side of
Squad.
the villains.
I don't want to see a fucking human side or a human
What's
side
the
of
point
villains.
then if you're not gonna learn more about them?
What
I
movie
want to
did
see
they
them
have?
be brutal and beat the shit out of people. We always see hero movies. You don't see villain movies, and they just made this villain movie into a hero movie.
What movie had explosive neck collars? I knew there was one.
The Hunger Games
Running
movie.
Man.
Battle Royale 2.
Wait, never mind.
Which
Battle Royale.
Did Running Man have it? Running Man had
Running
it.
Man had it, and Battle Royale had it.
Yeah.
Oh, Battle Royale
Running
is
Man
so
had
good.
it, and they found a way to
That
take
is
it
good.
off. And then I think what is it? Wild Wild West had that weird neck collar that could
Yeah.
shoot.
Oh
this guy.
yeah,
Wow,
And they didn't take that off.
Jim
That's
West.
weird
That's
stuff
rough.
that happens. They did it on purpose.
that Will Smith movie probably made a lot of money, right?
Yeah, I did.
All Will Smith movies made a lot of money.
I think the
I
main,
actually
the
like
main
Wild
reason
Wild
they
West.
didn't, the main reason they built that chip thing is so they
Loveless.
can say, hey, that's irrefutable. Those guys will do anything that Amanda Waller says,
Well,
or they'll die.
What
That's
was
why
the
they did
point
that.
of the Joker injecting that one guy? What did that accomplish?
Because that guy
To
was
force him to
force him to
do
work
his
with
bidding.
him.
force him to what?
Force him to figure out a way to kill the program. So he found a way to kill the program.
He's like, I own
So-
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he put it in his neck. He's like, I can either blow you up or you can figure out how to get it out of your own
I
neck.
also didn't like that Will Smith made a lot of empty threats in this movie. He kept pointing out, "I'm going to kill you. Anybody touches me." And it's like, dude, you just look like a fucking retard.
Dude, anybody
He
notice
threatened
that?
3 people and didn't kill any of them.
Did anybody
trying
else
to be a
notice
tough
that when Will Smith put his mask on, his head got extremely big? Like it
Well, the
was
mask had big
huge.
like eyebrow or like eye sockets or something on it. It was a big like unibrow thing.
Yeah, but then also notice one thing that his guns never run out of ammo. It doesn't matter how many times he shoots out of those wrist guns.
He's only uses one shot.
He just
That's a
killed
witch
like
in the
20
movie.
people.
I did like the scene though where like they're on the street and then eventually he starts like picking up the pace of shooting and then people start like they just stop as he's just like overwhelms.
Yeah,
That was pretty
shoot all
sick.
the herpy heads.
My
Just like-
favorite. One of the things
That was
I had a
that was good.
complaint about the whole thing is that when I saw Harlequin's bat doing more damage than bullets,
Yeah, that was stupid. I was
I
like, why
was
isn't
like-
the thing broken yet?
dang.
And she gets like
Wooden
straight hit
bat.
to the face by herpy heads, and it was just kind of like she
Right?
turns her neck. It's like,
that's
girl,
That's exactly what I
like
said.
your jaw would be on the side of your face.
Like that scene where she just randomly went to the elevator ahead of them, and then they all went up to chase her, and then
And
she's
one of the
like,
guys
"Let's
just
go."
like bear
It
hugs
was
her.
dumb.
That was probably one of those extra scenes that they shot that had more action.
That was
Didn't
dumb.
make
That
any
was so
sense.
stupid.
Like,
Why
you
would
know-
she take off like
like,
that?
you
and
know
be
what
like,
she's
let's go.
fighting?
What's wrong with you guys? Let's go.
You know that giant beast thing, right? He was like messing the whole city up, right? He would like destroy a tank with no problem, just smashing it, and then he kicks her in the chest, and she just gets up right
Yeah.
after. It's like, no, you should
So
be dead.
silly.
It's a comic book movie. It's silly. This isn't Christopher Nolan we're talking about.
But I
here.
also something else that I thought was really funny is that the whole CG scene with the Enchantress at the end, it looked pretty bad. I mean, with her like jiggling around. And
What
She was
about-
like dancing. Like
What about Diablo?
It looked like
Oh, Diablo. Okay, one thing I have to say about
Go,
Diablo.
go, go.
Okay, so when they gave him a chest of clothes to wear, Why did Diablo grab the fucking
The tank top.
tank top? It's like, this is what I'm gonna wear.
That's what he
He's
knows.
gangsta.
Because that's what he knows. That's what he wears.
It didn't bother, it didn't
How
bother
come he
anybody
burns
else.
himself that the tank top comes back to normal and it's not burned up? Why is he not
Because
naked?
he's El Diablo.
Well, I have another thing. It didn't bother anybody that he had that explosive in his neck, and when he turned into the Diablo thing,
It's still
didn't-
there.
It didn't explode.
It's still there.
It was he was
Deep in
burning
there.
fire, and it was in his neck. He changed form. It was in his neck still. It didn't blow up.
But
That's what most
is-
retarded.
Or
thing
the
was.
that
fact
something
that it didn't fall out, considering he was like what?
Like
Then why he didn't do that from the
transparent
beginning?
Yeah.
that
Could have
was,
just done that and then taken off.
that
'Cause
was
he
a
doesn't wanna do
character.
that.
Was a character I was so sad to see die because his character seemed pretty cool to be.
If
able
he's
to do
actually
that.
If he
dead,
wasn't
even not be
overwhelmingly stereotypical of that type of person, he would have been a lot more likable to me. But he, like the way he talked,
He
and
was
his speech, it was
stereotypical
just like,
gangster,
dude, like
yeah.
just
Also
chill,
found it
man.
really stupid that a bomb killed the beast dude.
What about that Navy SEAL that set off the bomb?
Yeah, he did.
He died. He's
No,
suicide.
but I mean
Why did
That's the
the-
real hero here.
Why did the Killer Croc do that? What was he doing down
but
there?
He was like
bomb-
stabbing people, which he's a villain. See,
That
he's a
bomb,
true
though,
villain. He's
that
like, yeah, I'll
bomb-
help you guys, but I'm actually gonna fucking and stab you all in the face.
That bomb didn't do shit.
Did anybody notice that Killer Croc only nodded his head left and right when he walked?
I didn't like this Killer Croc at all.
It was stupid. It looked like a cross of the.
Why did
the
he
thing.
want BET?
Because he likes it. He likes to watch the booty shake.
Racist.
He's black.
How's that
black?
race?
Yeah, he is.
They never showed his
Did
skin color in the whole movie.
Did you find that line he said pretty corny where he's all like, "No, I'll go down there. I live here. You guys are just tourists." I was like, "What?"
He like got on all fours and like scuttled down there
Yeah, I
like
was
a
like,
little
yeah, that's the
lobster.
stupidest
I was
line.
stupid.
you
It
come
was
up
like
with.
Bane's line from Dark Knight Rises.
Why did he?
Except it wasn't
Why
good.
did he have to take his pants off? He just walked around with. Why does he have pants on?
That's
Is it
Gucci
dong?
pants.
Why did he pick that shiny jacket?
Gucci Zach.
I don't know.
Yeah, he
Everyone
took
chose-
his jacket off to swim, but he left those pants and his shoes
Yeah,
on
yeah.
to go in the water.
That crawling animation
His
was
his,
golden.
his butt and his legs look so tiny with that bulky.
Reminded me of Street Sharks.
Yeah, I did.
Did he have a tail?
No, he didn't have a tail.
Well, he had pants on the whole time, so I don't
Pants,
know.
but I don't think he has a tail. But something I noticed is that all the characters chose something like stereotypical for them, except the Australian guy, which is completely forgettable. Captain Boomerang was completely forgettable for me.
You like his drone?
I liked
boomerang?
him. I wish there was more of him. He was funny.
He's always
Yeah.
just drinking energy drinks.
He was just drinking energy drinks constantly. I thought he was drinking beer at first. I thought that was really cool if he was just.
How did he do that thing with the camera?
Oh, that was so
It was a
stupid too.
boomerang.
That
It was a
drone.
boomerang with
Yeah, I was like,
boomerang.
wouldn't the camera be spinning?
Yeah, that made no sense.
It has a gimbal.
That was so dumb.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty weird. But remember, I got shot down. He's like, "God damn it!" And he threw his phone away.
Yeah.
I was like, "Why'd you throw your phone
Yeah,
away?"
just tossed a
The
perfectly good
phone's
phone.
not bad. But all right, yeah. The characters all had. I thought he was a little forgettable for me. I did like the bar scene. That bar scene where they're all talking, and then all of a sudden Captain Flag comes in here and
And
is
they
like,
boot him.
and they're like, "You can."
We don't want you here.
Oh, here's another thing that was stupid. Katana's, her
sword with the souls in it.
Yeah, so she cut that big thing, which is a soul in a human body. Why didn't the soul get sucked away right
because he
immediately?
wasn't dead.
But to kill it.
You had to kill the person.
No, he
Yeah?
had to cut it. He said
No,
don't
it
get
says they
cut.
kill it.
He said, "Kill it."
They
Encore?
state that it takes the souls of who she kills with it.
You saw it twice, Uncle. What was it?
You saw it twice,
Yeah.
and you got nothing to say.
I have a lot to say, dude. But
Say it.
Speak.
Why are you
go
not
ahead, go
talking?
ahead and talk. You guys are talking. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Fuck him.
Do you guys remember Sin City?
What about Batman?
Vaguely.
Yes.
Do you remember that character that's all big, bulky, and I forget the name of the actor.
Ron Perlman.
No, it's not
No.
Ron Perlman. It's
Oh,
not-
Mickey Rourke?
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
He would have been a perfect Croc for me. That character, the whole way the character worked, where he loved that woman and the woman was taking pity on him, that's all Croc. All
He was
over
already
it.
You know
villain
who
in
would have been a
Marvel
good dead shot? Wesley Snipes.
I love Wesley Snipes.
Wesley
He would have made a
Snipes.
perfect Croc, and this Croc was terrible.
Wesley
I hated
Snipes
it.
Yeah, it's like
Is
how.
Blade a DC character?
Yeah. But no, Blade's Marvel.
Blade's Marvel.
Marvel?
Yeah.
Did you guys like how Batman was represented in this? I actually dug him a lot.
I think Blade is
Yes,
on my
he barely talked.
He was barely in there.
Except for
yeah.
that
I liked
stupid
that he was in there.
ending.
I liked the cameo for the Flash.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I liked it.
I liked it
What,
one
what
too.
did you like about it?
I don't like the suit. It looks all mechanical and weird.
I agree. The suit could be better.
Well, he's a scientist,
Is he
right?
Asian?
Guess what?
Chicken butt.
It speaks.
Zack Snyder directed that scene.
That's why it was so bad.
Oh, for real.
Did Batman put on a mouth breather when he dove after the Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, did anyone else think it was funny that he punched in the face?
That's another thing. She gets in a car accident, goes through the windshield, not bleeding, and then he punches her in the nose, and she starts bleeding.
Because his punch is that. He gave
She
her
goes through a windshield, and there's
Jeff.
no blood.
Have
Do
you
you
ever
not
tried to punch anybody underwater?
Like, Batman's got power.
How do you not bleed going through a windshield? Have you
It's a
seen people that go
Lamborghini
through
wheel.
windshields?
Does anybody know the 1-inch punch by Bruce Lee? He did the 1-inch punch on her face.
In the water, though.
It still does
Yes.
not negate the fact that she should have had a lot
know
of.
how
She
to
should have been
1-inch punch
fucking
works?
dead, first of all, going into there.
Keep your
But
fist
yeah.
open, and then you close it when you
Yeah.
hit.
Lamborghini windows are cheap, dude.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't know.
True. Probably.
Well, why did Harley Quinn have a cell phone where the Joker is texting her, "Hey, I'm coming for you"?
Because that
guard gave
guard
it
snuck
to
it into her.
Oh,
The guard gave it to
You
her
didn't
because
notice
remember
that?
he owed a lot of money.
I didn't remember the
Joker
phone
paid.
being handed to her, and I thought it was kind of weird that nobody noticed.
Yeah, as they were walking out, she handed
That was the
him.
first guy Will
That
Smith
guard was
threatened.
fucking
Didn't do
hilarious,
anything.
dude. But he was hilarious, though. He was the best part.
That guy was
Yeah, I like
was
that
my
guy.
favorite
Ike
comic.
Barinholtz? He was in Mad TV.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Mad TV at
Huh.
the end when it was about to die, like a year before it was going to die.
What did he say? He's like batshit crazy, or he said
You jokers be crazy.
no. He said something to her.
I remember-
It was a good line enough.
He's like, she licked the pole, and he's like, "You straight up crazy, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yep,
But I like it. But I like it.
but I like it."
He's straight.
That
up
was a
crazy.
weird
Shocker.
scene.
Yeah, it was really uncomfortable.
I love that part where they came for Will Smith and they had like lined up and trained, like lined up with like their arms on each other's backs, and they like
He's like,
trained.
come
it.
at me. Let's go.
He's,
Come on. Let's go.
He's
Open
like,
the door.
"All right, it's how you want to do it."
I like
Let's
that a
do it."
lot.
Yeah,
That was
really
cool.
funny. And then Killer Croc was pretty funny, and the new guy fell into the water, and he's like, "Hey, who's the new guy?"
He's dead.
He's like dead.
Is that the new guy?
Where's the new
Oh,
guy?
It
is
just
that
makes
the new
no
guy?
sense to me.
I didn't
that-
like anything from Killer Croc.
No, yeah, it was all silly.
I don't know why they put him. Why they put him with water anyway? That was like the dumbest thing. So
he,
what?
he asked for it. He
asked
said
so
that
what?
he-
it.
So what?
He said he wanted
It's
to be
a
there.
freaking
Remember?
prison.
He said he asked for it, and
Wouldn't
I
that be
don't
at
know.
a disadvantage for them? To
Yeah,
have
what
a
better way
fucking-
to save money than throw some guy in the sewer?
Yeah, but there was a jail
Open up
cell.
cell space.
There was like it was like a jail cell in
He
there.
asked
though.
for it.
You put one door in, you're done.
Maybe he was really sensitive and he needs to be down there. So my favorite part was when they got Diablo also out of that tank, and they're like, "Hey."
It flushes
They flushed him out.
All the water.
They flushed him out, and then they stabbed him. It was like, "Do it before he flames up!" Like they stabbed him with some needle. I was like, "Wow,
Yeah,
that's
they
pretty
knocked
cool."
him out.
Like his
He already said
backstory
he
was really
done.
cool, but I just unfortunately his
His backstory.
speech was so overwhelming for me. It made it so ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't
and
like how he
goofy.
was talking. I was like, dude,
It was
come
too
on.
much.
His character was his character's backstory was cool, but his conversation in the movie was pretty bad. I think some of the lines in this movie were pretty bad. I mean, when they were done, like when Will Smith. One part that really bothered me was Will Smith's lines at near the end of the movie. They seemed so like forced. But not only that, do you remember that part where he finds that folder in the helicopter?
Helicopter?
He read it really fast.
He read that really
Yeah.
fast. He's like, "What is all this about?" And he threw it at him.
Did
He's
you
like,
get to the
"Dude."
part where I was sleeping with her? Like, yeah, I finished it. Like, what the fuck? In like 5 minutes?
I read the whole book.
I don't think he read it all. I think he just saw the pictures of like he saw her and him together, and he kind of put two and two. I mean, it
He
wouldn't
does
be-
have that optic eye. Maybe the
not,
optic
not
eye
just
helps
that,
him
but
read
like,
faster.
for a guy who like thinks about all these things in advance before he shoots somebody, it's not that hard for him to figure out. Okay, he's probably sleeping with her.
And he had $2 million from that first hit that he did. Why does he not just take his daughter and go somewhere else?
Exactly.
He was going to.
Exactly. So if you really cared about
Well,
his
he
daughter,
had a
wouldn't
whole
be
bunch
criminal.
of stuff for her. Remember all
When
those
it-
bags, shopping bags.
Were any of you guys reminded of the original Ghostbusters once the Enchantress died?
I was reminded by Ghostbusters.
remember-
and
That's
they
what
had
I
this swirling
thought.
thing in the
Sigourney
sky.
Weaver was inside the dog, and then
Oh, yeah, and like
crumble out the
crumbling
dog.
out of there. This was gross. It was like weird skin that was peeling off her face. I was like kind of grossed out by it.
I enjoyed parts of this movie personally.
The
but
heart shanking, that was hilarious. Do what I want.
God, that lady's such a bitch.
but that's how her character was in
That's
the
how Amanda
cartoons.
Waller is.
Yeah.
She was the best villain in the whole movie about villains.
She was
Yeah.
the villain.
She's a big villain, yeah.
The villains that they had pretty much was it was
Batman-
so pointless for Joker to be in there. I mean, it felt like he was just added in, like, hey, here's some sprinkles.
In the
Yeah.
comic books, her and Batman are Batman's afraid of her in the comic books.
Harley
It's kinda
Quinn or
funny.
Amanda?
Amanda Waller,
Like, if she knows,
and she knows.
Well,
yeah.
she pointed
That's
it
why
out.
they had that scene where they're sitting together at the table.
that was like the only good line of that whole scene. That scene was
Tell him to
boring.
stop working at night.
Stop working nights. Huh? Oh my god. What did you say?
Martha.
This is what he gets for revealing his face to all these heroes he's trying to recruit. So dumb.
Idiot.
Well,
That's
It's
Ben Affleck for
because
you.
I'm Batman.
but anyway,
Christian Bale never would have done that shit.
so do you guys think that this movie deserves the critical, the downturn that it's having with the critics? The critics are really beating this up. Do you think?
I think it
deserves
does.
Absolutely.
It
I don't think
does,
so.
but there's parts that made up for the terribleness. I mean, so it's just like Batman v Superman. It's a terrible movie, for the most part, but there's some really good parts as well.
Exactly.
It was still fun. It was still had a lot of good action. The music, the soundtrack was great. But
I think the casting was a little janky.
I do think that the movie was a little disjointed. I think the tone was kind of off on certain parts. Like, was this supposed to be a comedy? Is this supposed to be funny? Am I supposed to have fun with this? Then the movie's supposed to go dark with the death of Diablo's family. Then I'm like, oh my god, I feel sad for this guy. I felt so. Then you're talking about Joker, and the Joker had the least amount of scenes, and all the scenes were really.
It's not supposed to be about the Joker though.
No, but I know, but the Joker was in it, and it's like they put so much emphasis in these like cool.
Speaking of the
cuts.
Joker, Jared Leto is really pissed off.
The cutscenes.
Yeah, he's saying in interviews that like he's like,
did he not get to see this movie a week before?
He got asked, what do you feel about your scenes being cut? And he's like, what scenes weren't cut? He was so pissed off.
Maybe he should have done a better job.
Yeah,
maybe Jared Leto.
Jeez Louise.
Maybe Jared Leto.
Apparently, he did a lot of filming, and then they only put like maybe a small portion of it in there.
But maybe
I
Jared
would
Leto
be
should have
pissed
said,
too.
"Hey,
I thought he had a lot in there. I mean, if they cut a lot, I don't even want to know what they cut.
They cut a lot apparently.
we got to see because Batman
That was way
vs
too
Superman."
much.
I heard that after you watch it on the theatrical
Unless they're saving it
release
for the next movie.
with the
Oh,
deleted
jeez.
scenes, it's much better from what I've heard. So I'm guessing it could be better with the scenes in it.
That just
It
it
wasn't
didn't make
any
it
better.
didn't make the characters better. It made the story a bit better.
That's what I meant. It may make the story
So
better.
DC, here's a little rule: don't cut your shit out.
Well, it's not DC. It's
they
Warner
have to
Brothers.
they have to
Whoever
meet,
the fuck it is, stop
theatrical
doing it.
release time. They don't want to go over
Stop
theatrical release
doing
time.
it. Lord of the Rings was 3 hours. Stop.
There's a lot of complaints out there where they're stating like a lot of other issues that are there.
5 hours.
Where Warner Brothers was really too involved with it. The difference between Marvel and with DC is Disney allows Marvel to do what they have to do to make their movies. They give them the funding, they do what they have to do. Maybe they cut a couple things here and there to say like, hey, you got to relax. But with what I'm seeing with DC is Warner Brothers will let DC what they want to do, and then at the end they'll go in and they'll do whatever they have to do and retool the movie, which is wrong. Let the comic writers, let that studio do what they have to do to make the movies right.
I think if they kept the characters closer to how they're supposed to be, like Deadpool, and if they weren't afraid to take it to the rated R, like Deadpool, it would have been a much better film.
Like Deadpool.
But Deadpool's
Like
Yeah.
Deadpool.
yeah, but it seems like DC is having a really hard time right now after the Christopher Nolan films
yeah.
keeping
I
themselves
mean, his
together.
films were PG-13, and they were still
They're
good.
perfect.
Well, they're well-written
So
films.
I mean,
Great.
and they were
great
dark,
movies.
and they were dark.
No, one was
They just don't know how to balance. Like
one was very, very dark. The other one was not very, very dark, but it was dark. And the other ones were
They were
the
all
first
dark.
one. The
Yeah, they're
first
all
one
pretty
is
dark.
kinda,
They're all equally dark.
Yeah.
The first one's kind of comical at times because you're watching like the weirdness of seeing a different. What is her name again? The girl that he really likes.
Tom Cruise's ex-wife.
Tom Cruise's ex-wife.
They made that character up for the movies.
Yeah, I know. And then she changed in the next movie, and you're like, what the hell?
Maggie
that wasn't.
Gyllenhaal?
That had nothing to do with the darkness, dude. The fact that like
What's
this,
her name? Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes.
I hate
Rachel
Katie
Dawes,
Holmes.
fool. Rachel Dawes.
Oh yeah.
Rachel.
But I think that the DC needs to take a step back.
they need to
and
hire
say-
Christopher Nolan.
No, they don't need to hire Christopher
they
Nolan.
do.
What they need to do is take
Please.
that-
Christopher
fix-
Nolan's like an executive
Please
producer on
fix
these
everything.
movies.
Yeah, he's probably like, yeah, it looks good.
I actually like the universe that they're building. I kind of want them to stay the course and just build what they're trying to.
Yeah.
I think what they need to do is take a step back and say, hey, do we really want to keep going with this? What's this guy that's directing these movies?
Oh, they need to get Zack Snyder the fuck out of there.
Zack Snyder. Do we want to continue the course with Zack Snyder as pushing main stories and stuff like that, directing these?
I heard his
Maybe we
main
not.
weakness is he's obsessed with not story but
Visuals.
scenes. Like the visual scenes.
Yeah.
Like Superman's hovering above this family on a flooded house.
Maybe they should get rid of him being a director and say, hey, be a cinematographer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind visual like stunningness in the
They should
film,
just bring in Michael
but
Bay.
if you want to put in something like
That scene where Superman saves a girl from a burning building and everybody touches him in a big
That was
mob.
actually
like
kinda
Jesus,
good,
right? Yeah, I think that
was a good
They
scene.
need to take that out.
I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't
really
it doesn't
fit.
carry the story,
It
as
doesn't-
Encore would
yeah.
say about a gay person in Star Trek.
Yeah. So Encore, tell us what you have to think. We're waiting for you now.
It was all right. The first hour was pretty good. I think it was funny, but then after her brother came up, I thought it just was shit after that.
Who's brother?
Enchantress's
That
brother.
was
Okay.
way early on.
It was halfway.
That was like after everybody was introduced.
yeah. So the whole introductions and all that stuff was cool.
I thought the movie was good until the helicopter landing.
So that was before any of the Joker scenes.
How they survived that helicopter roll?
I have no idea.
That's
That
what
makes
he
no
said.
sense.
That, you know what? They asked him that, and he's like, he's like, I don't know. He probably wanted to get fucking coffee. He was so pissed because apparently it was explained, but they cut it out.
I think we're talking about everyone, the whole squad survives the helicopter just rolling.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nobody should survive that.
I just think that the whole movie didn't have believability in it when it comes to things like that. But I was saying it was good until that point. I enjoyed the whole beginning of explaining the characters. I enjoyed the jail scene. I enjoyed the music to that
Enjoyed a
scene.
lot, huh?
Then at the end, when they started going to the fight scenes and it started getting discontinued, and then I noticed that it was really about Will Smith
Killing herpy heads.
and killing herpy heads. And I don't like that guy that plays Flag. I don't like him.
Well, he was okay.
I don't like him.
For a brief second, I thought they said Ric Flair.
Ooh, that would have been good.
I was like perked up, like, oh my god, no way.
He's in.
I was severely disappointed.
He's the same actor that plays the Republican candidate in House of Cards.
Should have been Frank Castle.
That's why I was like, man, where the fuck have I seen this guy?
Yeah, he's in House of
He
Cards.
looks
He's-
like the guy from Narcos.
Have you guys never seen The Killing? AMC's The Killing.
Oh no,
He's
I
in-
tried to watch
he's
that.
in it. Yeah.
I watched like the first two
and he's
episodes.
RoboCop. If you guys not seen the new
Yeah,
RoboCop.
he was
Oh
RoboCop.
yeah, that's right.
RoboCop.
He is the new role.
And then he was in
Son
that
of
movie
a
with
bitch.
Denzel
But I
Washington.
didn't get to see his
Robo
face.
Flop.
His lower part of his
That was a good one.
That was clever, but I'm sure somebody said it before. That was the first time I've heard it, so it was good. I liked it. That was funny.
what I was gonna say is that I think that he was cool without seeing the upper part of his face. By the way, he's Swedish, and I don't know how he's got that
What's that
accent.
to do with anything?
I just think I don't know where he got this accent. His accent's so American. It's like
It's
called
not hard.
training.
It's not hard for them to get American accents.
no, I know. I said why is it so American though? It's like super
because Rick Flag's
Texas.
American.
But Texas.
Look at the
Rick
name,
Flag's
Rick
from Texas.
Flag.
So, Stranger Things.
Moral support.
What did you guys think?
I liked it.
I liked it a lot.
I loved it. Loved it. Loved everything about
You
it.
like-
Loved the
did you
music.
like-
Loved
did
the
you-
characters.
There was only
What-
one. I only
dude.
have one problem with
What?
the whole thing. I think they should have not shown the monster until the very, very end.
They barely showed it though.
fine.
I know,
dude.
but I think it was. The reason I didn't like it because I thought they could have done a better job with the CGI of it, and I also think it would have made the monster a lot scarier if you never saw him
I agree.
until the very end. Until
Like with
until,
most, yeah.
until Elle has to take him back to the other dimension because Elle's not actually dead. I don't think she is.
Is she?
Well,
I don't think she is
I
because
think it's obvious
because,
that she's not because they're.
well, no, because Hopper at the very end. Remember, he goes to
Yeah.
the little crate and he
Well,
leaves her the egg
open up with those
waffles.
spoilers.
Well, I don't know.
But that scene begs even more questions because Hopper did make a deal that we don't
He
know.
did, yeah,
What
because
kind
he-
of
he
deal
went
did
with
he
the Men in
make?
Black at the
What
very
does he
end.
know now?
Well, they
Is
made it-
Elle dead?
They made it absolutely obvious in the end that there's going to be a season
second
2,
season,
and then the season 2 there's going to be babies from this monster because that
Wait,
little thing
baby.
came out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
and,
right. Yeah, went down
and
the drain.
imagine all the other people. They must have had things in their mouths as well. Or is this one only survived because it was brought back to the upland or the part that's not down
Yeah.
under
Upside down.
Upside down.
But not upside down.
The not upside down world, and it's obvious that Elle's not dead because they're feeding her favorite food, Egos, in that
Right.
box.
Did you guys find it kind of stupid that like Will is his name Will?
the one who got taken away.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
his name.
Will.
So Will was alive this whole time, but Barb's ass just died right
yeah.
away.
She and
We
know,
don't
or
know
she
if
was
she's
dead.
actually dead though.
No,
she
she
looked
was.
fucking dead, dude.
Well,
because
so
Elle,
did Will.
No, Elle said that she was dead.
Put it in this perspective. She's a teenager running around screaming her head off, and while Will is this guy that has his hiding place. And
That's
he's
true.
a little boy, and he's already he knows how to hide and keep quiet. She didn't. She's probably just running around screaming. Her
You know
head
what I kind of didn't like was Nancy was kind of a pointless character in the whole thing. She really wasn't needed. I mean, because her she
she's-
made it seem like her relationship with Barb was like they were best friends, but they never really seemed like it. Like they were always
was
fighting.
she was the way that that Barbara, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara was going to be able to get involved in this whole thing and then eventually meet up with
But-
everybody else.
But
Yeah.
she wasn't even really. Barb wasn't really.
that
even
was the
needed.
whole reason her character was there. I mean, it's part of the story convenience.
It was still totally unnecessary. And the part, and then Steve, what was it? Her Nancy's boyfriend, Steven or
I
something.
think it
like
was
that?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, he wasn't really necessary either.
The one with the hair.
Because and then
Dude, that hair.
I know it was pretty gnarly. No, but Jonathan didn't. Didn't need to be a love story. Like Jonathan would have been fine without Nancy.
It was kind of cool to see Nancy.
I mean, I like the
and
character, but it was not necessary
it-
to have her in there.
She was cool because it kind of bridged the gap between the cool kids of Nancy and her group, and then Will's brother. I forgot his name,
Jonathan.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
and like the weird, creepy dude. And then
Yeah.
it kind of bridged, and they worked together at the end. with the crazy mom.
I like how at the end they were like teasing, oh, they're gonna get together, and then there was like, oh no, fuck you. She gets with the dick.
I totally thought that too.
Yeah.
But he did come back.
Yeah,
Remember?
he wasn't a dick totally.
Yeah, remember
He
bought
saved
the
him.
camera? Oh yeah, he saved him too.
Well,
yeah.
I know,
with the
but
nail bat.
he's a jock.
No, yeah, you're right. He's an
So
asshole.
Usually you don't root for the jock not to get with the girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did redeem himself because he was actually in love with.
Well, what
Nancy.
about his two friends? Those two were little douches.
Well, yeah, but then he wasn't friends with him anymore because you remember he was gonna fight him.
No, I
in
know.
the
I'm just
parking
saying
lot?
those two characters. Don't you hate them?
Oh no, I hated him. I didn't like Steve for a long time until he started cleaning the marquee off at the movie theater.
Did Winona Ryder bug anybody?
No, I loved her.
I didn't
thought
like
she was
her.
great.
She was annoying.
On the one hand, I thought that I
There's
didn't.
some scenes I really liked her, but a lot of the scenes she sounded like she was doing the really old grandma voice.
Too
You
much
remember? Was it in Back to? No, she wasn't in Back to the Future, right?
No.
No, like
She was.
Beetlejuice
She
or
was in.
something?
Yeah, she was in.
But she was a kid.
No,
in
not Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice. The end.
Mr.
of
Deeds.
Edward Scissorhands, where she's that old lady doing that old voice. You know, telling
I
the
don't
story to
remember
her
that.
children. You don't remember?
Uh-huh.
I remember the scene, but I don't remember.
She
her
had
voice
this
sounded
old
like.
person voice ever since she was that young, and it just carried over to her being adult.
Well, I mean, but she is old. I mean, she's middle aged now.
I know,
so-
but it's like fake. I think because
Some
her
points-
real voice. Is not
I
like
had
that.
no issue. I thought she did great. Like the grieving mother and everything, and trying to find her son. I thought it was great. It was wonderful.
At first, I kind of didn't like it. I was like, God, this lady's so hysterical. It's annoying. But then when I think the dorky-looking boy's mom came over with a casserole,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's like, "Whoa!" with all the lights. That's the wrong part.
What part are you trying to talk about?
Basically, somebody comes over and she's like, "Yeah, I have a bunch of lights up because like if it helps Will come back, it's in any
Isn't
way,
it
I'll
Hopper,
do whatever."
The sheriff?
Maybe it is Hopper.
I
I,
think
don't
it is
know.
Hopper. Yeah.
But she does all this crazy stuff just for the minute possibility that Will see it and come back, and that's just like that's what a mom would do.
Yeah.
And she played that like hysterical mom perfectly. And
I
I
thought
loved
so
it.
too.
What was up with that mom? I guess they messed with their brain. The one that lost.
Oh, the
L.
MK Ultra thing. I like the way they
I
suddenly
love that
talked
too.
about MK Ultra, which I really liked because a lot of people think it's just a conspiracy theory, but it's completely not at all.
Well, it's been
declassified by our government. It absolutely happened.
yeah, it did happen. And,
Yeah.
and people were being
Yeah, but a lot of people don't believe it, and I think that this movie might actually have people research what we did to civilians back in the 50s through 70s, and which we might still do now. We don't know. With the
We're not
whole,
gonna
with
get
the
that
whole,
far, but-
no, I'm just saying that. But I think it was
It's gonna be one of those
I mean,
talks.
No.
we
I
could sure.
I just think it's
New
really it was
podcast.
really fascinating that they talked about it. I mean, X-Files did it a little bit back in the 90s, but
Like with any show, like if you see something, you're like, "What's that MK Ultra?" You know, like normal, especially now with the internet and your
Yeah.
phones, it's like just Google it real quick. It's something cool to look into, and it
Yeah.
did happen. It was
yeah.
confirmed. So, but getting back to the Stranger Things,
But it was a really big part of the whole show.
no, it
It was
wasn't
the reason why Elle's the way she is.
not specifically MK Ultra, but
But it was because
government-
the mother was being used by the government in that program. She was given different drugs and LSD and all kinds of other crap, and then she supposedly miscarried in her third trimester, and then Elle was taken away. So Elle was a product of MK Ultra.
yeah, but that's not
And
the
the experiment.
focus of the show.
I'm not saying it's the focus, but I mean it was a reason why the show exists.
I like that these experiments and what happened to her, and it was what opened up the gateway to the upside down world. I mean, the way they introduced that and her seeing the character, I thought that was cool.
Do you think her? 'Cause she keeps calling that one dude Papa. You think that's her actual Papa?
No,
I don't think so. I think she's just been brainwashed
Yeah.
so much that she identifies him as
that's
Papa.
the
If she
only
even
one that she saw.
understands,
If they classified as abortion, she was pulled away very young, so that's the only parental figure she has.
it may just
Because
be a
he's
name,
he's
not
the
an
only
actual
one-
title of her seeing him as a father figure, but just like, hey, that's his name, Papa, as your name is Tyler.
Yeah, and as far as
Let's-
we know, he was the only sort of figure in her life that showed any sort of sympathy, even though he was completely cruel to her. Like he would,
Yeah.
when she would pass out, or when she was completely drained.
Well,
he
she
would-
had Stockholm syndrome, which is a classic
that's
case.
exactly what it is. Yeah,
Let's do some positives and then do some negatives.
I
Kick it
gave
off.
my negative. yeah.
Go ahead.
So everybody keeps talking about, oh, the music is great. Music is great. I
I
don't
know,
remember
music.
much of the music.
What
I
about the
remem-
intro?
The intro was. The
I
best
love
part.
the intro so much. That's what made me
Oh,
get
I'm getting
hyped up.
mad.
That's what hyped me up for every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intro. That was getting into it. The intro was good. I liked it. I liked the title screen and all that stuff, and the poster. And
It set the tone for the whole
It
episode.
did.
They played so many like different 80s, early 80s music.
Well, yeah, but like I'm talking about. I guess I'm just thinking about score and stuff like that. But
No,
I love
did-
the opening title.
Did that band actually score it? or did they just do the theme song?
I think somebody, I forgot his name.
I
He's
can't remember
a
who
famous.
scored it.
It's somebody famous that has done something from the movies, a bunch of movies.
Oh, okay,
He made the score and the titles.
Because I know people have been talking a lot about the band who did the intro,
Mm.
and I guess they're getting a lot of like
Praise.
positive reviews and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's amazing.
People are starting to love them because it is a great song.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if they had scored it as well.
Other
The feel-
positives.
Which I would have been
The
really
feel-
impressed with.
Yeah, the feel was, it was cool. It looked like it was gonna be predictable, but then she fucking flips the car over, and so you thought they were gonna fucking fly or something,
That was
right?
so good.
They flipped it. You thought
Remind me of E.T.
This,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
whole show
That's
was
what it
very
is.
Super 8 Spielberg-esque.
No,
type.
it's totally 80s, and then it even has the whole, I don't know if you want to call it a theme, but it's the whole thing like where the kids are smarter than the adults. Has that whole thing like back in the 80s and the early 90s, there were a lot of movies that were like that. Like the adults are fucking dumb,
yeah.
and the kids get away with everything. They're able to do everything.
That's funny.
They have a different perspective. Adults think about it, everything from the adult perspective, while kids are open to weird ideas.
Right.
Yeah,
It was funny when they called the teacher up and was like, "Hey, can you tell me about how to get to the other side?" And then he's trying to get Mac.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
That was funny. He's like,
that's
"Come on,
funny.
guys! Like, I don't want you." You said
Yeah.
science can never wait.
Yeah. And he was
But his description of the upside down world is identical to how Mulder describes parallel dimensions in the X Files.
was it?
it's-
I don't remember.
Mulder describes parallel dimensions in the X Files by saying he draws a stick figure on a piece of paper, and he says, "Here is like our life. Here's everything that you know on this piece of paper." And he like holds it up and he's like flips it upside down. And he says, "You don't know anything about anywhere else outside of this piece of paper. This whole world is the only thing that you know." He says, "But all this exists around us, and we can't fathom how to even comprehend it." And it was like almost identical to what he did with the tick going upside down on the wire, on the paper.
There's a lot of this show that was reminiscent of stuff from the 80s.
I thought
and
it was strange a science teacher would not know these things, though.
Why?
And talking about a, what do they call it? The acrobat can go up through the upside down world, while everybody else has to find a portal or something like
Yeah,
that. It is weird. Why would he know that?
because he's weird, dude. Look at him.
No, dude, he took an elective in college.
What?
Was it
Why would there be a class for that as an elective in college?
Who cares?
Especially
man?
in the 80s,
He
man.
didn't take that stuff. He was cool though.
Look at him. He's weird, dude. And
Yeah.
like he spent all that money on that like CB radio transmission
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I don't know what that was, but the kids were all excited
CB
about it.
radio.
Yeah.
That's all was on the range back then. You can make your own little pirate radio station.
That's all. What's
People
CB
still do
radio?
it too, yeah.
Like a little ham radio that he had.
Yeah, it's
and
just ham radio.
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, come use it." It's like, dude, this guy like clearly loves science enough to spend all this money and time and just be, "Hey, man, come
It was,
here,
it was
kids,
a big
come
rage back
fuck it
then
up."
to build your own.
Yeah, it's still really popular.
But he was
There's a
so
huge
willing
ham
to let the
radio community.
kids like use it without supervision because he left. That it shows us how cool and how attached and how devoted to science and the paranormal he is,
Yeah.
which I loved. I thought he was a great
how did
character
CB radio
I thought
tie to paranormal?
because of the whole upside down world. Like he knew
I guess
about
you could-
portals.
you could-
He knew
you could
about
call
it.
that paranormal.
Yeah. Well, the
You
upside
could.
down world.
Yeah, you can consider
That's
paranormal.
paranormal.
How would you not consider that paranormal?
Well, I know, but
You-
like
you might
other
be able
than
to
other than
categorize it as
his
something
knowledge of
else,
that,
too.
how would he know about the parent? Well, I guess he did know about how to make a, what do you call it? They do it in the other show that Encore likes with William Bell. Encore. Fringe.
Oh, Fringe was a good one too.
The one where they go in the tank. And what do they call it?
I forgot.
You have no sensations other than your brain.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Deprivation.
Oh, the
sensory deprivation chamber.
Yeah, the deprivation chamber.
I've always wanted to do one of
His
those.
knowledge of that, I guess that's sort of paranormal too, but not really.
Do you remember the box we almost built and I was going to go in it for like 3
That was
days?
a bad idea.
Oh,
that would have been so bad.
to do that?
Like a long time ago, I had this idea. I was just, I don't know why.
It was
It's
a dumb
stupid.
idea.
But I was going to build this box that was like 8x8 all around like a cube. And we're just going to put like bright lights in there and just have like this
No, no, no,
constant
we were gonna-
metronome.
No, we're gonna in the dark. We're gonna put you in the
Was
dark.
it dark?
Yeah.
And this constant
And
metronome just like super loud. So I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. See what happened.
So
Never did it,
No.
thankfully.
you
But
guys,
That would have fucked you up, man.
they do this in LA or something, like sensory deprivation spas.
Yeah, there's one in Long Beach.
Yeah, I wanna
heard
do it
about
one
too.
day,
That's
dude.
really good.
I would
Pretty
never do
cool.
that.
Why not? Like an hour.
I
You ever seen
wanna do
Altered
that.
States, the movie?
Fuck no.
The old, that's like, I think it's like a late 70s, early 80s movie. Check it out. It's fucking weird. That's what they do. They go
It's
crazy.
gonna be pure darkness or something. It's just quiet.
Nah,
You're
fuck that.
"Ugh."
I don't want to do it.
I think one of the really strong points about the show though is the casting. They did a great job casting it because
the kids.
none of the kids, because the kids were very likable, which is very hard.
Every
to
one
do.
of the kids.
That's
was
exactly what
great.
Renee said,
Who
too.
did you hate though?
Who did I?
The
I didn't-
kids?
I
Yeah.
didn't.
I didn't hate any
I
of the
hated one of
kids.
them.
I liked all. I thought
You
they
didn't
all
like
did
the
a
fat one,
great
did
job.
you?
No, I don't like the black one.
Really? I thought he was
Why?
annoying.
He was annoying later. He's like fucking. Oh, he's like, oh, there's a girl getting in between our friendship, and then he's starting to get
And
all
that
little
happens.
pissy.
That's a
That
legit
happens in real
concern
life.
with
That
friends,
happens
dude.
between you
They're
and
little
Chris.
kids, bro.
It happens all the time.
That happens between you and Chris all the time.
especially at that age.
Who's Chris?
Your friend Chris.
I'm not sweating at all.
About what?
You don't want him to get a girlfriend because
talking about?
he will never have.
Man, that's just me just talking out of my ass, dude.
Do people that come out of the upside down world, do they have actual powers? Why we'll have that little flashback?
he had the thing in his.
He doesn't. Will you talking about the kid that? You talking about the kid that came in? Can you close the door? They're talking about stuff.
So yeah, so Will had that flashback when he came back. He had that little slug in his mouth.
That's because he's not fully Will. That's
don't
not
think
that
so?
he has superhero powers.
Was
He's
that-
probably not
He didn't
him.
have superhero powers.
I think
He
it's
just,
just
okay,
PTSD.
he just had the thing inside of him, and that's.
Yeah,
Was
I
that
think
thing causing that flashback?
I think so.
I think that the thing causes the flashback, but not only that, that kid is not fully Will.
Why?
I think that kid is partially still part of that.
I think so,
was,
too.
The thing came
that
out
thing
of
that
him.
was in his mouth was impregnating him with whatever the next one was
It
going to
came
be.
out of him and went in the sink.
I think part of Will was left in the
It doesn't
upside down.
matter.
Or maybe he thought it.
It's
maybe
Dark
it was,
Will.
Maybe it was like a.
He keeps having those flashbacks.
No, but maybe it was like in his head.
No, because he threw it up and it fell out of his mouth, and we saw it as a
lived there and
viewer.
it survived.
But it doesn't mean that's not the last one. It could have been that.
Well, what I'm saying is, imagine all the other people that have those things in them, and where are those things that they gave birth to?
And why
Who
did it
else
take
was in
Will to
there?
begin with?
Who else was in there other than the kid? Other than that
There's
girl?
Barb
and that
and-
There was Barbara. Remember the
And there
big
was
tongue?
shit
Yeah,
ton
but
of
she was
skulls that were
dead.
in
You
there.
remember
She
the
was
big
dead.
thing coming out of her mouth?
Yeah,
Do
but
you
she
remember
was.
that?
Yeah, but she was a bit dead.
Do you remember all the
Well-
skulls that were in there when they first got in the
If
tree?
I'm sure if the thing was
It's
able
like
to be in
50
him long
skulls.
enough, I'm sure if the thing was able to be in long enough, he would be dead too.
Yeah, I think it eats you up, and then it lays an egg for something in the future. I think that Barbara.
like a
I think
mind controlled thing.
I think Barbara actually the second one of those beasts that came out, the one that remember how they burned the first one.
No, it was the same
It was
one.
the same
Yeah,
one.
no, I'm just listen to me before we continue. So they burned one.
No, that's not what I mean. Okay, though, go into what I really mean.
so they burn one and it gets really hurt, and then the upside down world you see blood all over the ground, and you can see it dragged itself out.
It was
Do we
injured.
think that the second one is exactly the first one? I
Yes.
don't think so. I
Maybe
think
he
the
was
second one.
intimidated.
So you think the monster that Elle killed is a different monster than the one that they fought in the house?
Yes, I think the
So
second
why would
one,
you refer to it as the singular one?
because I think
It makes sense. There's more than one. Yeah,
I
there's-
think the first one.
I think it makes sense they're more than one, but they're not necessarily grown up yet.
Just jump on Tommy's mic. Put the headphones on too.
I think she can
Yeah.
hear fine.
I don't know how to do this.
So maybe there's multiple, maybe there's one.
So when I
no,
thought when
there's multiple because
Yeah.
that one episode where they first I think went through the tree, they walked through the forest and there was one monster eating something and then another monster eating something else.
Really?
could
Yes.
be.
What?
There was a spot there was two monsters.
When Nancy goes into the tree, you mean? Is that what you're talking about?
No, before
that
Nancy,
bitch.
way before that.
So
I don't remember that.
why I bring this up is because I see when the monster comes after Elle in the school, that monster is so much thinner than the original monster. I think that was the
How do you
youngling.
remember that though? Because they barely show
I
it.
watched the show.
They only show it in like glimpses or like strobes.
Remember when they
So
were
you can't
fighting in
really
the house?
see
It was huge. That monster was.
But he got
bigger.
injured,
Yeah,
right?
but you have
Yeah,
to think
but why was he? If he was injured,
he maybe looked
why
bigger
wouldn't he
because
be
the house
injured?
is smaller and
Could
the
be.
classroom
That
was a
could
lot
be.
taller. So
that could be
perspective
Yeah, it could be.
wise.
I
But he
think
was.
it's a valid argument thinking that there's possibly multiple monsters.
I actually, when I was watching, I was thinking, why aren't there more creatures in this other world? But then I never saw
I thought it
any
was
evidence that there was more.
I
than one.
personally thought the creature was a gate guardian.
But if there's only one, then why are there two portals for it to come out? The tree and then the wall in the house.
I think
But some of those portals close up. The tree
Yeah.
closed up. The house closed up, which also is I don't
think-
understand
I
why
think
there's
it can
so
make
many
it-
portals.
But the
I think
house
it
they
can
went
make
back
it.
through.
I think the
portals.
creature can make its own portals.
Oh,
because
How
the
did that
creature
first
comes through
portal
the
get
roof.
created?
But did you guys notice every time those kids
Elle?
bled?
Elle opened the portal. That's because she remember she says it. She feels guilty because she opened the gate.
Remember how she opened the gate? She opened the gate by when they sent her into the upside down world. Before they sent her to look at a Russian, right? And the Russian
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
speaking.
that was weird too.
But that was because she's part of that. You guys know anything about MK Ultra?
that we talked about it earlier.
Okay, so MK Ultra is what they were basing off. So they went after the Russian. Then she saw something after the Russian, which was this beast. So they said, "Go back in there, face it." So she faced it, and I think that beast took her over in the real world, and then made her make a portal, and that's what she did. She tore up the wall, and then that's where the first gate is the tear in the wall.
Yeah.
So this upside down world is literally our
Well,
world, but upside down.
first
The entire globe.
The first portal was in the laboratory, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's where she did it. Remember, she was in that tank in the laboratory.
Yeah.
And that tank is in that room where they built that wired tool that pulls
Yeah,
the guy back.
Yeah.
You could see the tank in the back, but it's dirty.
Okay. I thought it was something else.
No, it's in there. She's
Okay.
that's the same room that she's in. Was where that portal is.
Okay.
If you go to like one of the episodes, I think it's like episode 7 or 6, you'll see her tank and the water is like green, like it's dirty.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. I know.
So
exactly
it's the same room. So she opened the portal for that netherworld.
And that was the original portal, and then
Mhm.
eventually the monster created other ones in the house and the tree and stuff.
I think that the power, whatever it is, the power station, since that electromagnetic power station was so strong, it was able to open up multiple portals in different areas.
Yeah.
What?
But why their town? Why
That
did it
monster
attack
is
Will?
able to open up.
The monster's
I
able
think-
to
I
open
think that
up
was
wherever
just
it says it was an
coincidence.
acrobat. It was able to
Random?
open up wherever it wants, like in the forest.
What?
Because it's attracted to blood,
Yeah.
and so when
And
it
that's
took
weird because
Will,
wasn't bloody.
there was no blood or anything. It was just
I think
completely
it was.
random.
I think it was completely random
I
because Will was so close to the laboratory on his bike, and I think that was right when the monster escaped, or
Yeah.
right when the gate was first opened, and Elle first escaped.
Why not the dog?
The dog.
They didn't have anything to do. I think
It didn't touch the dog, but it ate the deer in the forest.
Maybe the demon looked.
Why does it have a taste for
Well, the
things
dog-
in our
but-
world and then like didn't come through before? Or did we just not know it came through?
They must have.
My question here is
Season 2.
a really weird question though. If things move in our world, do they move in the netherworld?
Like if somebody tears down a house in this world, do they tear down the house in the upside down?
Do you remember seeing cars in the netherworld? Remember there was cars that are covered
Yeah,
in
they were all
vines?
damaged.
And you're like,
fucked up.
if someone drives that car in the real world, does that car move with nobody
That's
in
what
it?
I thought too. Like the trees are even in the same position too. Like what if somebody
It's
chops
just,
down a
I
tree?
think it's just one of those, just a random parallel universe. Like there's an infinite amount of of universes.
Yeah, they explained that.
I think this
with
is just one particular one, and this one just happens to have a monster, and it almost looks post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So isn't it supposed to be like a mirror world?
It is in a sense, but I mean,
What if
because there's
what
an
if it's a
infinite
different
amount,
world
it's
where
one.
the world came to an end and like
Yeah, and
like
this is
nuclear holocaust kind of basically?
Anyway,
and this is like the last
And
thing that's
this,
left.
this
Yeah.
creature killed almost everything or something like that.
it could be that could be the truth.
What are the negatives? We were talking about positive. What was you guys' negatives?
My only negative was the CGI monster, and I think they should have just revealed the monster at the very, very end, the last episode, when Elle takes more.
You know, that would have pissed off a lot of people, though, too.
but
It's
I
like,
think
hey,
it would have
wanna
made
see
it way more suspenseful, and I think it would have made the monster way scarier.
Yeah, it's just like that Godzilla thing. Like you don't see Godzilla through until the end of the film,
Or
basically.
Alien.
or like the most recent movie that does it is Cloverfield.
What did you like, dude?
What I dislike?
What did you like?
We kind of talked about everything we liked. I like
Like-
kind of like the lore of their town they lived in, the MK Ultra. I liked the kids. I thought they were really relatable, which is weird for kids.
Yeah, it's very hard to.
I liked
like
him.
a child actor.
And
He was the guy with the dude who was missing the true front teeth. I liked him a lot. He was,
Dustin, yeah.
He wasn't
and something that I really liked about these kids is if you watch like old movies where there's 4 characters, like case in point, the original Ninja Turtles,
Mhm.
you don't always see the 4 turtles talking to each other and interacting. Granted, this is a whole season, long thing, but all 4 of the characters had some type of interaction or joke or conversation with each one of them,
Yeah.
which was really cool, including Elle.
I was
I
gonna
like that a lot.
So that kid he was missing his teeth, but he also had a disease, right?
Yeah, it was a
Sickness?
disease where his permanent teeth don't grow until he's
Yeah.
older.
in real life or in the show.
No, in the show. I don't know if it's in real life.
I'm sure
My
it's real
sister
life.
has that
Just-
one.
They put that in.
My
I
sister
look
has
like-
that
Huh?
disease. My sister still has her baby teeth.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it is a real thing.
I didn't say it wasn't
Well,
real. I just said he
Oh, no, I
stated.
didn't say it wasn't real.
He said I said he stated that he had an illness.
Encore said they just put it in the movie.
Well, I thought he was just missing his teeth, and maybe they just
no.
tested
He
them. I
he
don't
said
know.
he had like a disease where his kid's teeth stayed in and he'll grow in later.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
he
it
did
was.
say it. Another thing I liked,
Microdysplasia or something. He said.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think that was really close to what he said.
Yeah, it was
it
something
sounded really
dysplasia,
familiar.
yeah.
But another thing I liked is I think Ryan and I talked about this was, oh god, I just forgot in my head. When they were dressing up Elle to go outside,
Yeah,
and
in the pink dress, right?
and they could have just put boy clothes on her and said, hey, let's just bring her as a boy. But as a kid in their state of mind, they think, oh, no one's gonna believe she's a girl because she looks like a boy.
Did you
So they
find-
dress her up with a weird wig and a
Yeah.
dress. But like an adult would just say, make her a boy.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave that feeling of the kids, like you said, kids and adults think completely different.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot.
Was it super awkward when he like kissed her and stuff? I thought it was a really awkward scene. Kind of.
It was cute.
It was.
I usually don't. I usually fucking hate
it
when
wasn't
kids
awkward
kiss
because
each other.
kids are
It was built up to
awkward at that
that
age
throughout
anyway.
the whole thing.
11, 12-year-old kids are super
Well,
awkward.
she doesn't know diddly squat. She's been being.
But she liked it. She smiled.
Yeah.
She
It
knows what
doesn't-
she feels.
She still has
She's-
the hormones.
She's still a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was well done. It wasn't really cheesy.
I
And
thought
I
that's
thought it was really well done.
The one thing I liked about this show personally is that I felt like I was watching an 80s movie, but I was watching it through the eyes of somebody that was in an 80s movie.
What?
Like an 80s movie watching. It's weird. It's kind of like I was watching an 80s movie, right?
But
is
this
in
takes
the
place
80s.
in the 90s, isn't it?
No,
I
it's
think it's
in
like
the 80s.
82 or
Yeah.
81.
It's like really early 80s.
They make a mention of something. Oh fuck! What was it? It was a
They played Africa. The song Africa.
They
yeah,
played
and then they
Toto.
talk about they say Lando Calrissian.
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
They
So
call the
that-
black kid Lando.
Yeah, so that's assuming that it's right after Empire came out.
Yeah, so what I was thinking,
Which is 1980.
Empire was that
1980.
1980?
Yeah.
Yes.
83 was Return of the Jedi.
so I was saying it's 1980. I felt like I was watching an 80s movie, but I was in an 80s movie. Like personally, I was watching it, but I was in an 80s movie as well.
It was very immersive.
So what I enjoyed about that, it was so well done with those characters that I really enjoyed that 80s feel. Like it wasn't cheesy like Breakfast Club remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like, hey, this is an 80s movie. Everything in it, it's like the kid wearing the tight pants and the Barbara wearing that like girl haircut, like the very short crop top,
Yeah.
and then the acid wash jeans. And I was like, dude, this is really cool. They really did a good job.
I think this show did the best representation of the 80s, and we just had Days of Future Past try to do it, a couple of other new
Yeah.
movies and stuff. So I think this is the best one.
Been
That's
a long
This is the
time.
most.
Yeah.
This is
This
the
is
most
really good.
realistic. That wasn't cheesy.
It says 1983 is when it was supposed to
Yeah.
take place.
Oh, okay.
So 80s. That's the
Still,
reason.
like,
Well, I originally thought it took place in the 80s, but then somebody said something on some comment and made me think all of a sudden, oh no, it's in the 90s.
There's no way it was in the 90s because if you think about what
No,
they
that's
had,
true with the CB radios. I mean, I was all over
Yeah.
within the 90s.
the big ass. What you think? What you like about
80s.
it, Will?
What I like about it, I liked how many similarities it had to movies like E.T. and Super 8, and it gave me a lot of nostalgia for the kind of movies I would see back then. I like the
Yeah.
way all the kids did a really good job. I really like the Elle character and the relationship she had with everybody. The monster horror part, I think they could have done a little bit of that a little bit better.
Yeah. It
But-
looked like a clicker, kind of.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. It definitely did.
oh, there she is.
But overall, it was really good. Like I said, one of my main gripes is Winona Ryder's really weird old person voice that
So-
she doesn't consistently have.
So I guess
I don't know about that.
season 2 is not officially announced, but I think they're gonna have a 1 year jump ahead or something like that. That's what I read. They're gonna jump a year ahead.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I heard
I
they're
hope,
gonna
I
make a
hope they
video
do
game.
more
That's
of
what the
the.
Duffer
I
Brothers-
think
government
the thing
stuff.
that came out of him maybe will grow into Dark Will.
Mm.
I think that'd be so awesome.
You know, it would be awesome if something is impregnant and like he's having something inside of him.
That's what I
I
thought.
totally
That'd be
think it
great.
came out of him though.
That'd be great.
That's
I
gotta
don't.
be the-
I think maybe.
But
Why
why would,
too late?
why would they spend
he's
all
a
that
boy?
time
Because
focusing
he's
on that
done.
thing that came out of him?
even
if it's not going to play any
even
role
if
later.
it's not Will, even if it's Will's not, maybe Will's just a seed bearer and he's dropping those things like at Johnny Appleseed out of his mouth.
You think it's going to be a lot? Wow.
It could be
Remember-
multiple. We don't know.
But remember when he's in the bathroom and he's like, coming back and forth to whatever the dimension portal.
Yeah.
You still don't know. Is he seeing it or is it happening in front of him? We don't know.
I think. Do you think
Is he
Elle's-
still in the portal?
Here's
Like,
the-
you know, who
I don't know.
knows? I don't know.
Here's a real question: who thinks Elle's still alive?
I do.
They're gonna
She
bring
is
her
right.
back.
It's obvious
Yeah.
that they make it
Because
to
Hopper-
show that the guy puts Egos in that little box for him.
In some
That I don't
capacity, I
understand.
still
What is
think
that?
that she's alive.
I-
Not
I
necessarily
believe it too,
in a,
but you
in
never
a
know
human
that-
form, but
What was
in
that?
some capacity, she's alive.
Do you know
What
that
was-
it's Elle eating those Eggos? It could be a monster.
What was
We
that
don't know.
box though? I didn't understand that.
It was like a netherworld portal. It's not a portal, but in the netherworld, you
Like
know
a
how there's
Dropbox?
always. Remember how in the netherworld they had the same things we did?
Mm.
So if she opened the box, there'll be Eggos in there.
You'd be able to
So
find
it's
it.
a.
It's kind of like a weird portal, like a little chest.
I mean, they totally set
Black
it up
hole,
because
black
Hopper
hole.
goes off with the Men in
What?
Black at the end too, right before that,
Yeah.
before he gets the food. So
he cut a deal.
yeah, he had to have done something.
But they're all gonna be
I
back.
really want to know the deal.
He also cut a deal earlier too. I mean, but it turned out bad.
He's
Because
my-
everybody died.
I want to know the deal he cut with a secretive government that just let him go free.
Yeah.
Didn't he
Like,
said
what
that
the
they
hell?
told you the deal. He said the deal. He said that the deal was.
No, he said this is what I want, and then I will do whatever you want. And you don't know what he did.
I think that what they said is what his deal was. From what I remember, was I will take care of this monster for you guys. I will take care of this, and my part of the deal is we will never talk about this again.
Yeah.
That was his deal.
Then why did he get in the car? If it's already over, why did he get in the car?
Maybe to make a new deal. I don't know. We don't know. That's what
Probably
we have
make
to
a
find
new
out.
deal.
We don't know.
Who
We'll see.
knows?
But the another, I think he was one of my favorite characters. The sheriff was one of my favorite characters.
He was deep. I liked him
What's
too.
funny? Well, in the
And-
beginning, you're like, oh, he's just gonna be some,
Dickhead sheriff.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
yeah.
I enjoyed
I got
that,
that impression too.
and I enjoyed the kids. Only kid I liked
That's-
all of the kids.
Yeah, this is what's cool about the show. It's like you think this is what's gonna happen, they completely take it the other way. Like,
Yeah.
you see it coming, like, oh, typical boy, typical. Something's gonna happen. They change it and they flip it on you. That's what's cool about it. It seems typical, but then they change it up at the end.
I think the most emotional part, like the saddest part to me, was when it's the flashback of his daughter dying while he's giving CPR to Will. I thought that was like the most emotional part of the whole.
That was the
whole show.
You shed a
only
tear?
part of the entire series that I kind of didn't like.
Really? I thought that was.
Because it's like, come on, bro. Like, first of all, CPR, like, people rarely even.
I know.
It doesn't
usually people
work.
don't survive. Yeah.
But, and then all of a sudden he comes in and he's like, I was like, whatever.
I don't know. No, I'm just saying like the whole
But-
thing with her. With
Well,
his
yeah, but
daughter
it was
dying
really good.
And him relating to the two. I thought that was the most emotional part for me.
It was really good.
Well, that wraps up this week's Confessions. We want to thank all of our listeners. Join us next week as we talk about No Man's Sky, Narcos Season 1, as we refresh ourselves for the upcoming Season 2. As a reminder, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. You can follow us on our many social media platforms to send us your own confessions. That's it.
Remember how you said you were going to be here first? And now you didn't. Now you didn't say this either.
You know what? Tyler tried. He got here fast and
Alright.
came sweaty.
What's the topic of the week?
I don't understand. To say they're all natural, I have potatoes in my house and oil, and I cut them and I fry my own fries, and they taste nothing like In-N-Out. They're 100
They
times
are all
better.
natural. I used to work there. I know for a fact. I actually cut
You
the
see
damn
them
potato.
cut the potato.
Why
And
do
then
they
I
taste
put it
so
on-
different than when I make them in
It's
my
probably
house?
because it's
Probably
probably
don't know
oil.
what you're doing.
No, it's because the oil has been reused for so long.
I've tried corn, vegetable. I've tried everything.
So
every
how
kind of
thin
oil.
were the ones that you cut?
I've done it all. I've done thin cut. I've
They
done
also-
thick cut.
they also
I did
so-
Mojo's.
Hey, they also.
So I went to New York,
They
and I
season
went
the fries
to
too.
when I was in New York. I went to what's that place? That donut
Shake
place
Shack?
that's open. No, there's a donut place that's open up here.
Dunkin'.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
They
I
have
went to
fries?
Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast. Yeah, it was like a hash brown.
Ooh.
And I went in there, and then I saw everyone all the employees were Indian. So then I went in there, I ordered hash browns,
Where's this going?
and then I was like, why do these taste like
Curry?
No. There's like a green fried thing that they have in India. It starts with an L, something like that.
Lima beans?
Pakorma. It tastes like
That does
pakorma.
not start with an L.
Sorry, I thought about it there. So it tastes like pakorma, and I was like, why do these taste like this?
And
And then
bicycle.
I was like, why do my hash browns taste like this? And I see them frying their lunch in the oil.
Oh my god.
And I was like, God damn it.
Was it in
these guys."
California or New York?
It was in New York.
I can see that.
Nice.
Dunkin' Donuts is so overrated.
It is.
We have
Oh,
Dunkin'
no,
Donuts
they're
out here.
donuts.
we do
donuts are
now.
terrible.
We do now.
Encore has something to say.
When I was in Germany, I went to Dunkin' Donuts.
What
Fucking
were you doing in
thought-
Germany?
Traveling?
stupid.
Just want to know.
I was in Germany.
So yeah,
Why?
all the Dunkin' Donuts I went to, it just fucking flies all over the donuts. And people-
Flies?
flies. Big thick ass flies.
It's just like Mexico. It's
It was-
just the way it
You
is.
should see how ketchup is made. It's a big lake, and they're mixing it, and there's like a black sea, and it's all flies on the
Are
ketchup.
you telling me there's a lake
That's
of
so
ketchup?
disgusting.
Are you shitting me?
I don't eat ketchup.
I don't know if you
so
know this, but I knew someone that worked at Dunkin's, and they said that all their donuts are made in a central plant, and they ship them out.
We have a
Can I add
we have a
something?
mutual friend that used
That's
to
a
work
lie. I've
for a
seen it.
donut company, and he said that one time he got a cut on himself, and it bled into the
ketchup.
glaze thing area that mixes with all the other donuts
Oh,
in the
Mike?
frosting.
Were the donuts crispy?
Well, there goes his name.
Was it-
Yeah, he said that he got
What's
a
the
cut
first
on his hand or somewhere, and it dripped into like the Krispy Kreme,
Yeah.
you know, like the conveyor belt. It like dripped into that oil area.
Sounds like the
That's
whole
pretty
movie.
fucking
You trying to get people fired?
I don't remember him
now?
telling
Well,
me.
he Tyler's the one that said his name.
I didn't say a last name. It could be anybody. Anybody.
Do you guys consider ketchup and tomatoes the same thing?
No.
No.
Ketchup does not taste
That's
like
a
a
weird
tomato.
one. That's a weird question.
Why would
Asking. It's made out of
do
fucking
you?
Tomatoes. I think it's made out of it with a bunch of added shit, but
I-
it's
I like-
basically.
Tomato
It's
paste.
not tomato. It's tomato.
tomato paste tastes closer to tomatoes than tomato ketchup. Ketchup has so much sugar in it.
It's like potatoes and French fries. The same thing too.
Somebody in high
Thank
school used to tell me they just eat ketchup all the time because it was 0 calories.
What?
Was that Russian
Pure
kid?
sugar.
No,
What was that?
it was Henry.
It's like
Oh,
it's
my
like-
I can see that.
Do you think he got his TC yet?
I think they're still customizing it.
Personal story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was I still work there. So at Disneyland, when I was back at house, you work upstairs in the stockroom. They had like free food in the corners and shit. I took a bun and put ketchup on that shit. Just ate it.
What kind of bun was it?
Hamburger
Hot dog
bun.
I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to
Yes, not too
make
terrible.
ketchup sandwiches.
At the end of this, I have a question for you. Since we're going this weird route, I'm gonna ask you a weird question. But my question is: did you have a weird meal you used to eat as a kid that you would never eat now?
Mayonnaise sandwiches.
So like mayonnaise,
Just mayonnaise and bread?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
parents let you eat that?
I used to open up mayonnaise and just slather it on some bread and eat
I
it.
think
God,
I've
you
done
should
that,
see how much
maybe.
mayonnaise is at the house.
Real
Okay,
mayonnaise
so-
or Miracle
so much
Whip?
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip.
Miracle was nasty.
What's
okay,
the
Will.
difference? What's
I
the
yours
thought
next.
Miracle Whip was whipped cream. That's not whipped cream.
What is
No.
the difference?
That's
Miracle Whip
Cool
is like Miracle Whip is that fake shit that they call mayo, but it has sugar in it.
That's like
Sweet, yeah.
spices and shit.
Why is
in
it
it.
all sweet?
Hmm.
Is it supposed to be the same thing?
I don't like mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is amazing.
So, Will, what's your weird thing you had as a kid that you don't eat no longer?
I still eat it, but
I don't think there's anything that I ate when I was a kid that I don't eat now.
What was the weird thing you see as a kid?
Well, they see as a kid.
That you ate as a kid?
Oh,
that
I
you-
liked Miracle Whip a lot as a kid. I don't like it
Oh,
anymore.
God.
I think it's good. I like Miracle Whip.
Tyler,
I used to eat a lot of ranch dressing when I was a kid, and now I can't stand it.
dude,
were you like just eating it out of the bottle?
No, I on like a salad, I just cover it.
You
in
ate
that
salad as a
dressing.
kid?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
for dinner every night.
he ate lettuce with his ranch.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. That's pretty much what it was.
Encore, what was yours?
I just took a piece of Kraft cheese and put it on white bread. It was because that
That's not weird, dude. That's
It's
good.
not.
That's normal.
It was 101
I wouldn't do
Dalmatians.
it.
You remember that movie, 101
Yeah.
Dalmatians? Do you remember when they're all in that room and the little dog takes the cheese out of the bread when they're falling asleep?
What the hell?
Because of that, like I
so
always do that.
long ago.
What about wrapping a piece of Kraft singles in bologna and rolling it up and eating it?
That's not weird. I
That's
saw a
not
lot of
nice.
people who doing
I
that.
did that shit last week.
Jeff, what do you do?
I really don't eat anything weird, or when I did as a kid that I don't eat now. I used to eat a lot of Mexican food, and then I stopped liking it for like 10, 15 years.
What about those little prune things you eat?
I still eat those.
Saladitos.
Those are so delicious.
So gross.
So nasty. Or
Tommy?
just the powder that you eat.
Just 3 of
The
those
Lucas powder?
is like
Oh.
800% of your daily recommended value of sodium.
Have you had kidney stones yet?
And then Ryan is the
No.
one that ends up with a freaking kidney stone.
Mike too. Mike has
Kidney
kidney stone
stone.
too.
He does?
I might
Now?
got kidney stone this week.
Ooh, that's what he gets. Okay, Tommy, what's the weird thing you ate as a kid you don't eat any longer?
I was a pretty picky eater, so nothing really strange.
So I'll do me. I used to take a hot dog bun, put some pickles on it, like Persian pickles,
Oh,
and put some
God.
onions on it
That's
and straight up
gross.
eat it.
What's a Persian pickle?
It's like dill pickle.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it Persian?
Couldn't just say dill.
It is called Persian pickles, and where I bought it from, I think my parents bought it from there. It's like an Arab.
they cross out dill, but Persian.
Yeah,
It's written in like Arabic, and straight up says Persian pickle on it.
Persian
Yeah.
pickles.
That's what I used to eat. That was
But
weird.
it tastes just like a regular dill pickle.
It's a little sour, I think.
I hate pickles.
just a little bit. It's like the small
You don't
ones,
like
right?
pickles?
Me too.
Yeah.
Pickles
Hate
are
They're
pickles.
tiny. Dill pickles are like huge. They're like this big.
Yeah, they're little ones.
Oh, the
I
cucumber.
love cucumbers though.
Ah, so
Right.
Cucumbers
Same-
and lime
same
and a little
shit.
bit of tahini on top. Shake it up. So good.
Nah.
Were you enjoying that, or were you barfing? It sounded like you're barfing.
So good.
When did this turn into food confessions?